It's the replacement here. So
Bro, is the tournament search section bugged?
No, but we are live,
Oh,
surprisingly.
we're already live.
Yeah, we are.
Hello!
Hello.
Sorry.
One of the most underwhelming intros that we've ever done, but it is what it is.
I was not anticipating that we were live. Wait, let me get in the mood just a moment.
Yeah. Sorry, my co-cast had food stuffed up his mouth, and yeah, he should be with us in a couple of minutes. Guys, these are the ESL 1 Birmingham closed qualifiers. My name is Vivek, with me is Floki, and yeah, for some reason, it's a 720p stream, and the stream needs to be fixed. Oh, jeez.
Okay, I'm here and I'm in the mood, Vivek. Let's go again.
Let's go again. Okay, couple of caveats. We are running 2 streams, so uh, I mean, I hope my internet will hold up. There is a little bit of a restream branding here and there, but I think that's okay. And yeah, I think this should be a fun game. You're still loading into the game. Have you found the game, Floki?
I have found the game. I am also loading in.
Okay, great. We might have a couple of tech issues. We might have to. I don't know. If you have to, we'll restart. If you don't have to, we won't. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm watching our stream. Seems good. Nice lifestealer loading screen you've got there. How many times have you played this hero?
0. Literally. I have not played him since they've changed open wounds.
Oh god, that's a long time. They changed this hero ages ago.
Yep. It's been a while. It's
Strangely
really
enough,
been.
I feel like Lifestealer is actually really strong this patch, but I don't think we have seen anyone really pick that hero up as much.
Yep.
I think he's back to being really, really strong because of all of these strength heroes that are in the meta.
Yeah, but we haven't seen much lifesteal anyways. The other thing that's a bit surprising, Floki, and I'd love for your opinion on this, is
5 seconds remaining.
people are saying that Monkey King 4 is a thing again. Is that real?
I think so. I think it is. It's just that people are picking so many ranged 4s and 5s these days that having the ability to just go on top of them with Primal Spring is really hard for most post 4s and 5s to disengage, right? You either need to expend your own disable protecting yourself, which is never ideal, or you need to use or you need to start with some more move speed than normal, and that also again is not ideal. So I guess just the dichotomy that he forces these post 4s and post 5s into is why people are picking up Monkey King again. And then of course you've always got the stun from the trees, his ability to scout. You've also got some team fight with the Wukong's command, if he does have a decent game. I've seen sometimes people even go for a diffusal blade if they're having a particularly good time, which makes your ultimate quite a bit more annoying. And the fact that you can inhibit someone and keep them in it, it really messes with people's mana. And this patch is a lot about draining people's mana. Fuck you, Lion. And anyone who enjoys it.
Absolutely. And
You're a real scumbag
they are.
if you like that hero.
They are. The other thing that I'd like to add is that we are moving into another set of qualifiers since the first tournament of this year, where we saw a lot of Muerta on the. I think towards TI, towards the end of TI, and even a little bit after that, we saw Muerta on the pause for.
Well, her toolkit insanely doesn't. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. What were you saying?
Oh, I was explaining why Muerta is good. Did you not catch me there? Was that your packet loss?
No. I just heard a toolkit, so could be packet loss.
Yeah. I said I was explaining why Muerta is strong, but never mind. It's we can move past that. Yeah, this
Hoodwink is also one of those heroes, Floki, which got picked up on the other game as well, the Blacklist game that's going on. So they opened with Hoodwink Weaver, which was quite interesting. So I think Hoodwink is finding a way back into this patch and this meta. I'm not a fan of people playing core Hoodwink and building Maid Slayer.
And Rapier?
Yeah, or that, but yeah, I don't see what has changed that this hero is suddenly so good. It's always been the same,
It's
really.
they really increased bushwhack damage by a lot. They
Uh
made
huh.
it so that at max level it does 360 damage now compared to 300 in the previous patches, which is quite a big difference. They also buffed the damage for Acorn shots, so really Hoodwink's bread and butter got buffed significantly. Especially buffing the Acorn shot, right? Because it's bouncing multiple times, even having something as little as 20 damage actually amounts to a lot in over the course of a team fight. You know, you throw out two, maybe three Acorn shots, that's
Right.
a lot more damage than you're doing. So it's just tiny changes that have pushed her over the edge, really.
Right. I didn't know that. So, yeah, educational moment, one of many, hopefully. Enchantress still strong. Has
Always been strong.
always been strong. I think this. Do you see the possibility of this hoodwink being flexed a bit?
Uh, I think so. I think this hoodwink could potentially be flexed. There is potential in that, but it really depends on the type of game. And I don't think that you want to be playing core hoodwink into something like Luna Wench, because these heroes don't really mind closing the gap. And there it is. There's another Mars. So they really want to be in your face if you look at Geek Fam's draft. And so far, based on what Talon have picked, they want to keep them at range, right? You've got the Enchantress, you've got the hoodwink. You want to be able to create some distance between the enemy team and yours. So I imagine the next few picks from Talon are going to look to address that. Um, a Doom would be good if it was not banned, but it was actually first banned here by Geek Fam, so makes sense. Dragon Knight, I like it. A hero who's kind of a sponge, can just absorb all the spells that they're throwing at him, can happily tank a magic missile, a wave of terror, a spear, or a rebuke, a beam. So that is sort of what you need right now if you're Talon. You need someone who's just going to be able to eat up all these spells for you. What do you think, though? What do you like this Dragon Knight pickup? Have you played a lot of Dragon Knight recently? What's your opinion on this hero?
I mean, what I've noticed is that less people are buying the shard early. More people seem to be tending towards getting the eggs and getting a manta style and that sort of a thing. The shard is really not such a key component of what this hero needs. Is it's kind of safe, right? Like I think what Dragon Knight offers, which is really, really one of the reasons why people want to pick him up, is that he's this is kind of hero that shouldn't really lose his lane, especially
Yeah.
if he's going mid. There are very few outcomes where he ends up losing his lane. So, I mean, sure, you can be a tryhard and pick Lina or Shadow Fiend or Timbersaw, all heroes which are very viable in this patch, and shut him down. But
Yeah.
having said that, I feel that his impact is generally more muted. There's so many more heroes that can offer so much. It's okay. Like I think the value of this hero is when you go to the endgame scoreboard and you see damage received. Uh, and maybe that's where this hero tends to make a little bit of sense in the entirety
Yeah.
of the draft.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah,
A
two
bounty hunter.
Yep, two heroes. I mean, a hero on either side that can buy phylactery. So I approve of this draft.
Yeah, of course. The item that really baits people into thinking that it's really good when it's probably one of the worst items to come out of the last patch. Although I do think there are some really there were some underrated items that people are starting to pick up on now due to the buffs. Disperser is one of them. Uh, just to jog everyone's memories really quickly, they changed the Disperser recipe so that it requires an Eagle Song now instead of it requiring a Demon Edge. Which means that instead of giving you flat damage, it now gives you bonus agi. Previously, it used to only give you 20 agi, now it gives you 40, and that's it. But having an Eagle Song in an item that already is built from a Diffusal Blade is just it's just the best case scenario. This really reminds me of the old Butterfly, when every carry used to buy Butterfly when it was really, really good. I feel like this is one of the patches where every carry is gonna buy Disperser because that item is so good. Just to remind you as well, it is also an AoE dispel. Now it is a small AoE,
It
but
is.
if you are a Luna that is standing next to a Bounty or a Mars, you're also going to give them that move speed. So, yeah, just really, really good item to have on your team. And carries don't mind building it now because of the Eagle Song and the 40 agi it provides.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's an AoE dispel and it's an AoE slow as well. So
Yeah.
it performs both at the same time if opponents and allies are in that AoE.
Okay, coming back to the draft though, what do you think Talon need here? I feel like they need another strength hero to just round their lineup up. I feel like right now there's a bit too much pressure on the Dragon Knight. You can't be eating spells from a Bounty Hunter and a Mars and a Luna and a Venge. So I imagine Talon will probably pick some sort of hero that mitigates that, or another hero that can soak it up. Oh, an Ogre Magi. So that's probably gonna be the mid laner. Now, having seen the Ogre pick, you I'm not sure if Ember is the best pick here, because Ogre will just smack you level 1 with Bloodlust, and I don't think Ember really trades into Ogre that well due to his high base armor, HP, and damage. He's got the trifecta.
I
So
think
what,
I think it's a mid bounty.
you think it's a mid bounty? That could be, yeah, I could see that happening too. Although I'm not sure if Ogre really wants to play into an Enchantress. It's just a bad matchup for the Ogre in the offlane alongside Mars. I think when Enchantress gets a creep, it becomes really hard for Ogre to do anything of significance to the Morphling, and the Morphling can just sort of free farm.
I think, I mean, I could be wrong, and I'm probably wrong because I always am. I think it's Luna Venge in the safe lane, and
Yeah.
uh,
Or it could be Luna Ogre in the safe lane.
exactly that was what I was going to say. I mean, Luna Venge makes a lot of sense, but I think it's going to be Ogre Luna, and then Venge goes to the offlane with Mars, and Bounty goes mid.
I don't know if I feel that strongly about the Enchantress versus Vengeful matchup either, because you again run into the same problem. Like, what the hell are you gonna do when Enchantress runs at you at level 3 with a Centaur or a Hellbend?
I think they're going to be fine. I mean, like they feel that like they've got the spear and they have the tools to deal with the Ench and maybe even kill her. They think they're kind of okay playing this lane. Um, it's not like I don't know, but like are people really drafting supports, especially as a response to Enchantress?
No, and I think that's sort of the issue. I feel like the only real way to to address Enchantress is with your supports. I think if you don't have supports that deal with Enchantress, then Enchantress becomes a problem in your draft, and
So
especially
I
for a
was
hero like
right about the
Luna.
ogre going to the safe lane, uh, and I think it is the bounty going mid.
Yeah, you were correct, Amando, about that. Uh, Them picking up the Queen of Pain, though, I don't know if I feel that good about this pick. I feel like there's just too much damage coming in from the Geek Fam draft at the moment, and you don't really have heroes that are viable candidates for just eating up all of those spells and shrugging them off. It makes me concerned. And overall, I have to say, I do feel Geek Fam's draft more, although I'm interested to see what you think, Vivek.
Um, yeah, I'm also leaning to the Geek Fam draft right now. I think they are stronger. I think this mid matchup should go in favor of the Quap. I mean, there's that famous video of Nisha in one of those ESL tournaments where Blitz asks him, "What do you want to beat Pangolier?" and he asks for Quap, and then still ends up losing the lane. But I think Quap versus Bounty Hunter, I think the Quap should do really well. That lane should go in favor of Talon. But from there on out, this game could really take a different turn altogether.
Yeah.
I feel that there's a good chance. I mean, if you just look at this draft, what it excels in is buffing up the Luna. They've got the Vengeful Spirit with Aurora, with the Wave of Terror, and they've got the Ogre with the Bloodlust. So you win one fight, and Luna is probably going to be shitting through everybody. So
Yeah.
yeah, if anything, despite them not having the pacier lineup,
Yeah.
there is a certain kind of pressure for what is it? For Talon to actually make moves on the map, right? Because
Yeah.
you do not want to go into some extreme late game versus this Luna. But at the same time, if you make these moves and these moves do not go in your favor, the bounty hunter is there. Track gold is going to kick into play, and yeah, it's a very fine line that Talon have to walk in this game, and I'm curious to see if they can walk it and if they can snag a win. But yeah, if we had to make predictions the old-fashioned way, I guess I'm leaning towards Geek fam.
Yeah, and here's the $1 million question, right? Like, are you as Talon going to be able to make moves that slow down this Luna's ability to farm? Are you going to be able to take the map? I remember you telling me yesterday about the time when Skembalu was playing in India. A little bit of trivia for you folks online. Skembalu played in an Indian team called Signify long, long back at the beginning of his career. He left shortly after realizing that we don't know much about Dota and we are not very good at the game. But yeah, coming back to this, I do think that you are not going to be able to really slow down the Luna unless you play your lanes out correctly. I think you need to draw even at the very least in your morphling lane, and you need to win your off lane, which I just don't know if a Dragon Knight Hoodwink beats an Ogre Luna, because how the hell are you going to close the gap, and how the hell are you going to prevent the Ogre from smacking the crap out of both of those heroes?
Well, level 1 contest at the bounty rune, nothing much happens. Ponyo gets the rune, and I think everyone is reasonably happy with that outcome.
Like Huel from Better Call Saul? No?
No.
Reminds me of the dialogue. So there's a scene.
I've forgotten. It's been a while.
Huel is the big fat guy, the bodyguard for Saul Goodman.
One second. I have managed to. Okay. That should be fine. Okay. Sorry, my fog of war settings were messed up. So mid lane, Bounty Hunter versus Squap. This should be going towards Squap rather easily. I think Bounty Hunter just wants to get a couple of levels and see where he can take it from there. Down bottom, Schem is putting out a decent amount of Harris onto Jokam and WS. So, yeah, I'm just looking at these lanes, and I think the lane where Talon can really, really establish themselves and kind of take over is the Morphling lane. I feel that's where the possibility of them kind of walking into the mid game with tempo really, really exists.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. I think Talon has a really high pressure lineup, at least on paper, right? You've got a DK who wants to be smacking your towers with every Elder Dragon form that he has. You've got a Queen of Pain and a Hoodwink and an Ench who are going to be helping him out. So on paper, it does look like that. But my problem again is this big, fat, two-headed blue boy down in bottom lane who's got a Ring of Protection at level 1, 2 mangoes, and is asking some very pertinent questions of Talon. And look at that. Every single time he goes to trade, he gets a 2-man Ignite. So this is sort of the issue right now that Talon don't really have an answer for. It's that if they're not able to deal with this Ogre and push him away, then there's a chance that your DK does not end up with the levels and the farm he needs to be able to pressure these towers.
The thing is, what Skem is doing right now is he's just forcing out regen. He's not really threatening a kill, but that's all he really needs to do right now. He's just securing farm for his Luna, and that's more than enough. If Luna is getting to CS peacefully, if Natsumi is going uncontested with the creeps, I think Geek fam are very happy with how their safe lane is going. Eventually, though, the Hoodwink will get levels, so Dragon Knight will get levels, and then that's when we see the threat of Talon starting to materialize in this offlane, and they can possibly look for a kill.
Yeah. But
I didn't expect the Bounty Hunter to be doing so well in terms of CS. He's doing rather well for himself. So I think it's safe to say that Geek fam got the exact start that they wanted Floki across all their lanes.
They certainly have. I think they've won out this early game, or at least these first 4 minutes of the game, quite heavily. But again, just to quote the great old Mike Tyson, everyone has a plan till they get punched in the face. I tried to do the accent there, didn't really nail that. Apologies.
Mild racism.
My viewers to that. And not racism, it's just his
appropriation.
No, it's just the way he speaks. Actually, he
Absolutely.
pronounces his S's with T's and H's. So it's yeah.
Okay.
You could say it's racism. Sure. Uh,
Excellent. What a good start to the day.
well, what a beautiful start to the
3
day.
minutes into the laning phase, and it boils down to Mike Tyson and his accent.
And a
And
dash of
racism.
racism. There it is. The best way to start your day, folks. But yeah, coming back to the topic at hand, it's
But
gonna be hard
just for our
for-
viewers,
Yeah.
I hope it's no surprise that my co-caster is one of those that complains about how behavior score dictates his MMR, and you can also guess his behavior score.
Oh yeah.
By the-
Okay. Little trivia, guys. At one point, my MMR used to be higher than my behavior score.
Oh,
Yeah.
you were 2K.
No, I used to be like 4.5k behavior score on the 10k behavior score system. Now it's up till 12k.
I was talking about MMR.
sounds worse. Oh no, I see. No, that joke went right over my head. But all right, let's come back to it here for just a moment. Let's have a look at the lanes again, and look at what Ponyo is doing. Right, like what the hell is this went supposed to do?
First
There's
blood.
just an enchantress running you down, and there's no answer for this. You've got boots, you've got a centaur, he's smacking you in the face, and what the fuck are you gonna do about it? That's sort of the issue here for this top lane, at least. So I like the
Absolutely.
fact that Talon are getting something, even though
Down bottom, Natsumi. They tried to go. A blood grenade was committed. Otherwise, I wouldn't have interrupted you.
okay, I know makes perfect sense, but Natsume really shouldn't be in this spot in this lane. This is a lane where he should have absolute free farm courtesy of the ogre. I'm really surprised that he's managed to take this much damage. It really should not be possible.
So I think there's a bit of an issue. Nope. Am I reading this right? Has Talon blocked their own hard camp? No, they haven't. No. It's
no.
outside. It's outside the AoE. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Talon have not blocked their own hard camp. And
In-
this sort of is the issue, is just these sentry placements have to be so spot on
Mm-hmm.
with the post 4. I feel like these days it's actually easier for a post 5 to win a lane than a post 4. Mom, I am streaming at the moment. I would have
Excellent.
appreciate if you could keep the conversation down. Thank you. My mom just ganked the cast, guys.
Yep.
But never mind. Moving on, co-op having a double damage, 3 heroes towards the mid lane. This is somewhat hard to defend if you are Geek fam. And I like the fact that Talon have moved here. They need to sort of make these moves because they want to break the lanes. They know that the lanes aren't exactly super favorable for them. They've managed to make the top lane static, so the Morphling has been left alone and he can do just fine by himself. But you really cannot just stay down bottom here as the Hoodwink and the Dragon Knight and expect the Luna to, not have a good game. You need to start pressuring these other areas. You need to take these heroes away from Luna, and then you need to gank the Luna. Speaking of which, I like the fact that they made these stacks for her. Because of that stack, Luna can just, chill here until the creep wave comes close to her tower. And well, there it is. There's the Enchantress Mud Golem walking into the tower there and dying a very unglorious death. Wow, I don't know what Fordio is trying to do there. Maybe the Mud Golems are about to expire. But yeah, this is good pressure coming out from Talon. That's what it can be summarized to. Apologies for the long tirade.
Mm-hmm. I just dropped the network charts. Luna and Quap sitting at the top. The Bounty Hunter and the Mars not too far away. Morphling is struggling a little bit in the network department. And Akashi will need some more alone time before he really comes online. But yeah, like you were saying, Talon, they have to make these moves. They've been trying to make these moves, but they've not been making them with too much grace. They haven't got much other than First Blood on the Venge. And yeah, I mean, I don't know, these SE. Oh, I've got to hold on. The Hoodwink is probably going to end up dying. That's track gold, and now Chuan stunned will turn it out with a Sonic Wave. Mac is dropping low, and with the Shadow Strike upon him, they should be able to kill the Bounty Hunter. But at what cost? Well, one more track kill is what Geek fam would really like. It would seal the deal. It would make all of this worth it. But in fact, they're going to lose Chem as well. And Natsumi is rotated to the mid lane. Your pause one Luna. leaves the safe lane, comes mid, accomplishes nothing, goes back to farming. But all said and done, they got one track kill and they lost one core and their ogre.
Yeah, not really the exchange they were looking for. And credit where credit is due, Chuan has come up with a really good item build. I like the fact that he's gone for all of these early game items. He picked up a null, he's picked up raindrops, items that you wouldn't expect to see on a co-op. You wouldn't expect to see a co-op pick up a null talisman, but the fact that he had that null talisman on meant that he could get at least 1 to 2 more screams off than he otherwise could have. And as a result, he's really managed to, survive that gank. I mean, this is good stuff coming in from Talon. I was not expecting this.
Yeah, it's good stuff coming out from Talon and a bit of a misplay coming out from Geek Fam, in my opinion. You also want the Mars to be involved, right? I mean, you have your offlaner with Arena. It's a low cooldown spell. I think it should be put to use early. Regardless, Mac will get a kill onto Ponyo. But Geek Fam, they've lost their safe lane Dar. It's not the end of the world, but very soon Cox, he's going to come online. Actually, just about right now, the three of them, they're going to smoke and they're going to try and move towards the co-op. Now, with the change to Arena, it is easier to spear into Arena, even for old men like me. So, if I can, Cox can. So, that could be a way to catch the Queen of Pain off guard. And maybe that would be the dream scenario for Geek Fam. But for now, they're just going to loiter about into the enemy triangle, accomplish nothing, and probably just go back to farming.
Yeah, and well, they did hit the scan on the Luna, so they know where the Luna is, but
Yeah.
at least they can have an idea of who's going to be farming that. But
Chuan and Jokam have smoked. They want to play off the scan. They find Mac. Mac's got that little bubble keeping him happy and healthy. Chuan, well, tosses a dagger, a scream, and runs away. Both teams, with all the grace of Indian men at a nightclub, trying to walk up to each other and make something happen, but just failure after failure.
yeah. And again, the age-old question arises: is it racism if it's your own race? I guess that's an answer we'll leave the philosophers to ponder on.
Yep.
Or a question, rather. Excuse me. But Chuan, look at his shift. Look at the items he's queued up. He's going for the Maid Slayer here.
Bro, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, 1 second. I just need to ask you if I've understood this item correctly. You proc Maid Slayer on an enemy, that enemy is going to do less magic damage to you. That's it,
Yes.
right? That's the effect.
To everyone. To everyone, not
Okay.
to you. Yeah. And Maid Slayer already gives you magic resist, so you start to catch my drift. It just makes heroes so insanely tanky and annoying.
Okay.
And let's actually not forget, if you remember, a couple of years ago, back in 2018, 2019, I think, or was it 2017, 2018, there used to be a particular build for Queen of Pain involving Blade Mail and Spell Lifesteal. But the basic premise of the build was this: if Co-op can stand her ground and fight, she is one of the most annoying fucking heroes in the world to play against because of the dagger and the scream. And the fact that if it's ever too much damage, she can just blink away, making you look like a fucking idiot. So, this is what Chuan is going for. He's gonna go for this Maid Slayer. It's gonna make him incredibly tanky if he manages to get hits off. Yeah.
Hits off.
Hits off, yes. Hits off. Because look, you're gonna have to hit the Bounty Hunter, you're gonna have to hit the Wench, you're gonna have to hit the Mars, you're gonna have to hit the Ogre, the Luna, yeah. So, it's idealistic, but speaking of idealistic, the Spear into Mars is not, the Spear into the Arena is not anymore because they really reduced the backswing on the Spear of, what is that called? Is it called Spear of Mars? Yeah, I was gonna say Spear of God, but then I realized Mars is a god.
The second spell is called God's Rebuke, you fucking
Ah.
divine piece of shit.
I apologize.
Anyway, doesn't matter. Mac on the hunt. Finds Jokam and Jokam senses that something's off. And Mac isn't going to pursue any further. Gold being stolen. But more importantly, they did get a kill on the co-op. It's a painfully slow game. Sometimes you can't tell the difference between the China qualifiers and the Southeast Asia qualifiers. The names are different. The facial structures are different. But the play styles are slow and painful.
Oh yeah. I'm just gonna use this person's Discord DMs as a way of sending my link so I can shamelessly self-promote a stream on my Instagram. So
Go ahead.
give me a moment
Go to
while I do
social
that.
media while I watch this exciting game.
You can say miserable excuse of a game. It's okay, but it's actually
No,
not.
no,
I
it's
feel
okay.
like
I mean, like, I can understand where one team is coming from, and now the other team is like, hey, if we're not really making moves, we might as well farm because Dragon Knight just has a Midas, which is good, pretty good. Midas, two braces, threads, good farm, but not an item that can really impact in any meaningful way in a fight. And the question that I want to ask is, when was the last time where the laning phase really mattered in Dota? Uh,
I
and
think it is actually fairly consequential in this match.
it is, and I think Gaming Gladiators are an excellent example of abusing
yeah.
every inch that you get in the laning phase. But somehow, I feel that taking an advantage from the laning phase is what the higher skill teams manage to really do. And they do it
Yeah.
really well. Europe is so fast. There are no moments for the casters where you get brief interludes and can jump into racism or anything like that. You just keep on going. Natsumi in the middle of nowhere with the Eclipse wants to fight. I'm not quite sure why he was there, sitting in the enemy jungle all by himself. With how many points in Luna Blessing? Lucent Beam,
Yeah,
excuse me.
This
just
is the moment in a pub where your pose
Oh,
five.
hold on, Floki.
Yeah.
Mac is going to try and go on the Joe Cam. He's got the track. They'll use the swap. They get a hoodwink. Track cold is track cold. Will Talon punish though? Chuan is going to blink in.
on you.
Scream on a one. Geek fam. Not too bothered by that, but they can go back. They need to go back because Skem with the Pavis is holding on for dear life. Ponyo is doing damage. Chuan blinks in with the scream. Skem still alive. Sonic Wave committed. Ponyo is the one that ends up dying. And Geek fam, they're getting away with murder. They might actually want to go back in, but Mac, he doesn't have the invis to work with. Chuan did also have a sentry. An observer and a sentry right there. So even if he did go invis, they would find the kill. Regardless, all said and done, they get two supports, but they do lose their bounty hunter. And this is still track gold going the way of Geek fam. But somehow, the net worth graph is leaning in favor of Talon.
Yeah.
Another fight breaks out. They've caught the Quap
My
with the
God.
spear, but I don't think they're going to get anything more. Cox running away with the Pavis upon him. Will not get too far because Sean had enough mana to go back and re-engage upon the Mars, and Ponyo this time gets credit for the kill.
There's just no rest in this game. Everyone is just like go, 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 go. This is so fast coming out here from the side of Talon, and I like it because firstly they punished the Luna who was out of a depth in the Dire jungle. Secondly, they managed to they managed to draw out the arena. They managed to draw out a lot of key spells in that previous fight. So again, they get some downtime now where they can farm. And let's not forget, Luna is a hero that is good when she is ahead, not when she is even or behind. So the fact that you managed to kill the Luna, the fact that they blew all those ultimates and didn't find any core kills and only found two supports is a huge win here for Talon. It's going to give them sort of an insurance policy going into the next couple of minutes. And this Luna, better hope that she gets more stacks in a bit, because otherwise it's going to be hard for her to catch back up in terms of farm.
I mean, she's got a Manta and an MMM, so I think she's going to keep farming, right? She's going to be okay.
She's going to be okay, but I don't think she's going to have the oomph that Luna's typically
Mid
do in a
lane,
game.
swap, Ponyo tracked, dead. Spirit Vessel being put to good use by Mac, and now with this, I think Geek Fam should look to take this tier 1 tower. You did mention that the Luna needs more items to really have impact. I think she's on the way to getting there. I think in another 10 minutes or so, this Luna is going to be thick. Grotesquely thick. And then it's going to hurt all these heavy strength heroes that think that they have all the answers. So anyway, Maid Slayer complete. The next item is Witchblade. I mean, there was a time in Dota 1 where attack modifiers didn't stack. Thankfully, Chuan is not playing Dota 1. He can go about building all this nuisance and put it together.
Oh yeah. Just a moment. I'm almost done shamelessly self-promoting.
Please go ahead. There's another fight breaking out. Chuan
Oh,
cosplaying
Jesus
as an
Christ.
observer ward on the high ground. Skem is going to walk in, gets pushed back to a 3, and he's probably going to end up dying. But the arena, though, it's perfect. Can they capitalize? They want Ponyo. Ponyo is dropping low and will eventually go down. There's the Eclipse. The Pavi's buying time for WS, but eventually he's going to fall. Akashi's shown up to the fight, but Jokam dies beside him, and the Morphling's had enough. He's going to wave form the heck out of there, and Chuan, blinking for dear life, fortunate that there's no track upon him, will manage to escape. A big fight for Geek Fam as they swing the net worth back in their favor, lose only the Ogre, and get themselves 1 core and 2 supports. Mac isn't done yet. He's looking for more. He sees Akashi. Akashi, however, was on the high ground and did manage to get away. And
Yeah, they can keep
well, I was
going
just
here.
putting a couple of sentences together. Natsumi took down a tier 1 tower. So they can, like you said, just keep on going. But Geek Fam, be patient, back off, do their own social media and come back into the game.
Yeah, well, I mean, they respect the fact that they don't have their ultimates up, so they're not as strong. If you look at Talon's lineup, they're actually less cooldown dependent than Geek Fam. And if you're less cooldown dependent than the enemy team, it means that you can fight more frequently, and it's
Top lane,
easily
Cox.
more
I
active on the
mean,
map.
I could sense
Speaking
what
of
he
which.
wanted to do, but he's a bit too far forward. The sharpshooter will slow him down a little bit, and Cox has run into the trees. Tries to be one of the
R.I.P..
trees, but nope.
Interesting choice of voice lines, considering that he is the one who just died. But yeah, Talon, I was saying they're less cooldown reliant, so they've got more options to fight on the map. They've got more opportunities and more openings. So I was hoping that they would stick around top and maybe take the Tormentor down because it was 18 minutes, but I'm glad they did not, because if they just stuck around there, that would have just meant that they lost the fight potentially, because there would be a sharpshooter at the ready, there'd be an Enchantress pummeling them, a DK with a blink and a stun, and just in general, it'd be very hard to take the Tormentor. So, good that Geek Fam disengaged there. Cox dying, not so good, of course. You don't want your Mars to be giving up his life, but here's to hoping that the Wench is the one who gets the shard and not the Ogre. And oh yes, it is indeed the Vengeful Spirit who gets the 50-50. So, good for the side of Geek Fam. Having that extra magic missile bounce is really pivotal in some fights.
I think it's really
Guys-
triggering for you to be on the other team versus a bench which has a shot. I
Yeah.
think it's triggering more than pivotal, but yeah, it is something that's really valuable to have on the bench. And yeah, it looks as if Talon will just play the reverse card and take their own Tormentor. I mean, they sometimes when your enemy takes the Tormentor early, you're like, oh guys, now we know what to do on the map. Because otherwise everybody
Yeah.
just falls into this comfortable rhythm of farming and doing nothing. You see that the enemy has taken the Tormentor. Oh, maybe we should do the same. It's a little bit it's a
You
positive.
want to try and you want to try and take the Tormentor as early as possible so that you can get the next spawn going. It's really the second Tormentor that
Yes.
can sometimes make or break the game. Of course, depends on what heroes you have, but that net worth effect of having another
I just
shard
want to
on
call
your
out
team.
something. Somehow, they
Yeah.
walked into the Rosh pit, the Dire scanned them, and immediately, Geek Fam ran out of the Rosh pit. I
what?
have no idea where 250 IQ points, where those 250 IQ points came from. That had to be one of the most unreal moves I've ever seen. So
What the fuck did I just see? Why? Yeah, you're right. That is absolutely ridiculous. What on earth did they do there?
I
Huh?
think it's genius. I think the only explanation that I have is
Guys, the Aegis! Guys, the Aegis! No, the Aegis has dropped on the floor! They're all teeping out! Oh, thank God, Natsumi, holy shit. Okay, wow, I had, yeah.
top lane, Jokam setting up on the Bounty Hunter with his ATOS, and Chuan will do the rest of the work. They get a kill, but there is a flank coming in from Geek Fam. They want Chuan. It's going to be hard. The Ignite will slow him down, but I'm pretty sure Chuan's going to be able to blink away to safety. Geek Fam run around the map. Don't get too much. Mac dies. Kind of unnecessary, really. I mean, you just got the Aegis. You do not want to have pointless downtime. You want your Bounty Hunter to be alive. But yeah, they're just going to have to wait.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised. Actually, that's not really the bounty hunter's fault. You see, what happened was that Natsumi started TPing in without picking up the Aegis. He thought he had the Aegis in his hand, but he did not.
Ah.
And the bounty hunter was like, oh yeah, sure, like I'll just go ahead, start tracking people up, start showing myself. And then Natsumi realized, oh, I don't have the Aegis, cancelled his TP, then went back for the Aegis inside the pit. So it really is not the bounty hunter's fault there that he died. And if this is anything, this is a death that should be added to the Luna's counter because he's the fucking idiot here.
Clearly.
Mm-hmm.
I completely agree with you.
I really sympathize with the bounty hunter because that is not not at all Mac's fault. I mean, yeah, the guy has been having a good game, but then stuff like this happens, and then you only have one view of the fight, and you're not able to understand why Mac would do that, and then you start to realize, oh wait, it's actually not his fuck up.
Yep.
And then people are a lot more fair compared to that guy than they
Well,
are to
it's
others.
a bit of a standoff here. As both teams are hell-bent on pushing high ground. The question is who catches whom on the retreat. Now, I want to remind you that Talon, they did take a tier 3 tower, but they couldn't get more. The range barracks have taken quite a pummeling, but pummeling? I don't know. Plumbing.
Hey, the offspring of plumbers,
Yep.
plumblings.
Mario came and beat the shit out of the range barracks. But Geek fam, they didn't get that tier 3 tower. Nonetheless, they're just going to keep going again. They've got a double damage rune on Natsumi. And this time, unlike the Aegis, he did pick it up.
Yeah. So, I'm glad... I'm
I
glad to
mean-
come back and defend here, but again, a good move by Talon to try and force out the side of Geek Fam back. And really, kudos to Geek Fam for being able to come back into this game. After the way the Luna died earlier, I did not anticipate them being able to come back, but them getting that Roshan is what really turned the tide of this game. And this is exactly why you can't make silly TPs to farm and to do things that aren't related to the objective in Dota, because you'll get punished. Good teams will punish you for it. If you're a support and you TP somewhere you're not supposed to, they will get you, just like they got Ponyo.
I just got the tail end of that. I was not quite sure why Bambi decided to push out top lane all by herself. But nonetheless, she gets caught, she dies. And boom, they don't care. They just want to keep pushing. They've got the Solar Crest, they've got the Ignite, the Bloodlust, and they've got the Venge with the Aura. They can keep going for days, and now it's getting really awkward for Talon. The Dragon Knight walks forward, wants to force something. Quick adaptive strike being thrown out, but look at the Dragon Knight melting. The Sonic Wave is picture perfect, but what can Talon find off it? They've lost their Dragon Knight, and they do not want to commit a buyback for this. Shuan pops his BKB, starts to work on Skem, but Skem's just an ogre. They're more than happy to let the ogre die, and before dying, Skem will toss out one final stun. Luna did get the range barracks in Talon. They did lose their Dragon Knight, so they get both supports on the side of Geek Fam, but Natsumi still has the Aegis. And Geek Fam definitely got what they were looking for, an objective and a kill.
Yeah, and this is why it really helps to have a player who's really, really familiar on Ember Spirit just these days. And
Ember?
in general in Dota. Yeah, because if this was an Ember Spirit, one Sleight of Fist and the entire damage output of the enemy team would have been mitigated by a crazy number, right?
Oh.
You don't really have a BKB on the
So
Luna
you're talking about the skill it takes
to press Sleight of Fist, yes.
with Mid Slayer. Is that what you're saying? Mid
No, I'm
Slayer?
I'm
Or
talking
just-
about the fact
okay.
that Ember is going to be playing into Bounty, right? Which is probably why they didn't want to pick up the Ember Spirit, because they didn't like that. Which is like a fair assessment, but I feel like you can always slow down the pace of the game to allow the Ember to come online, right? You've got an Enchantress hoodwing Dragon Knight. You guys can just put the Dragon Knight mid once bottom has been taken care of, and let the Ember Spirit get to his Mate Slayer, and then you can start taking those fights.
Down bottom.
So, yeah.
It looks like they are setting up for a fight. They might find the hoodwing Jocab. Oh, wants to sharpshoot up onto the high ground. That's not going to happen, but God's Rebuke is there. Jocab
my
goes to the high
God.
ground. The swap. Oh, jeez. That was painful. That was extremely painful. Everybody's cringing. Their dicks have shrunk by an inch because that play was just awkward AF to watch.
Yeah.
I mean,
That
what
was-
Jocam couldn't do, Cox did for him. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, makes sense that the guy's name is Cox and the dick shrank by 1 inch.
Absolutely.
He gobbles up all the cock size. It's like Life Drain, except it's Cock Drain. Takes 1 inch off everyone's penis and adds it to his own. Oh, yeah, Yeah, but this is sort of the problem trying to run a Queen of Pain with Mate Slayer. You go in, you hit someone, and then you BKB
Uh-oh.
TP out,
Uh-oh.
which gets cancelled courtesy of the Vengeful Spirit, but I guess you just blink away and you're A-okay.
Lucid B. Arena Spear, sir! Mars! Oh, come on, Cox. You gotta believe in yourself.
He did not have a blink at the ready. He didn't press BKB to dispel the dagger, sadly.
Look at Mac, though. This man chasing.
Man on a mission. Well, I do like his item build. You know, he went for the BKB Spirit Vessel. Then he realized that, okay, I'm probably not going to be fighting as much as I thought we would. So he's like, fuck it, I'm going to go back for a Midas. And it makes sense, because if there's no fights happening, a bounty hunter can just become really, really poor. So him having a Midas enables him to get his farm and enables him to get his Ags. It does mean that that's an item, or rather 2k gold that he does not have towards something like, say, a phylactery, but I think that's actually a plus and not a net negative.
It's also not 2k gold towards his Ags.
That is true. But
I mean,
2K
I
gold
like
towards an
I like
Ags
what you're
was
saying.
challenging.
The Midas
I know,
does
Ghost.
sound like a good idea in a game that.
No, you're right. There's always the question, right? Like, would you rather? Because at this point, he would have the Ags.
He would. He'd be. Oh my God! The
What
Dragon
the
Knight
fuck did I just see?
flopping forward with the Ogre Seal Totem, sent back. Initiation at its finest. Okay, now he blinks forward. There's the arena. They want the Dragon Knight. They're trying to bring him down. Swap committed. The Morphling dropping really low. Morphing over to strength. Still alive somehow. Cox, he's got to be careful. He's got his BKB, but he doesn't have too much HP. And now Natsumi caught out of position without the Aegis. Might just end up falling. The Scream of Pain is there. Chuan gets the kill. And now they'll turn. They look for more. Skem next to follow as the rest of Geek Fam. Well, I thought I was going to say that they managed to get out, but the Mars ends up getting caught. And just like that, Talon, they have defended. I mean, I don't know if defended is the word, but they've mitigated the loss of 2 sets of racks by getting 3 kills.
Yeah. Because the Mars did not press his BKB. I mean, if Mars presses BKB, he takes a little less damage. They probably survive and get out with their Luna, but because Cox was late on pressing his BKB, they end up losing 3 of the heroes. And now the question is, can Talon punish? Can they try and find these sets of racks back? And it's going to be difficult because top lane is going to be pushing in. So if you're the Enchantress right now, I would send this Satyr creep over towards the top lane so that you can maintain pressure towards mid and bottom.
I mean, the other thing that I'd like to point out is that Cox, Arena, and speared a Dragon Knight, which I mean, in that kind of situation didn't feel really necessary. If he could just be a little bit more patient and try and fight the Hoodwink or the Enchantress, or maybe the both of them with a Shard, that would be a much more worthwhile arena in my opinion. Ponyo, he's checking for Roshan, but he's going to be greeted by a track and in Ignite being tossed upon him. He's got the Lotus Hop to dispel the track, but Mac, with the Manta style, will manage to regain vision. Illusion Rune. I was just checking if you were watching. Yeah, with the Illusion Rune.
Yeah, of course.
Of course he doesn't have a Manta. He just made his Midas and he was building towards his Axe.
Aghanim Scepter, yeah. Well, I like what Talon did there. The idea is correct, but I like this even more. They're actually smoking back into the side of Geek Fam. They want to try.
Yeah,
and
but they've
catch
been
them off
scanned
guard.
out. They've been scanned out. This is risky. WS needs to find a good jump. He's going to send a couple of illusions. One of them will be dealt with. Patience personified by Talon as they toss the Glypnir onto the Luna. Chuan blinks in, finds the Bounty Hunter. Oh, Mac Tang at the beginning could be costly, but the swap is there. Mac kept alive. He's still taking a lot of HP, but the Greaves is there.
What?
Healed up.
Get down, Mr. Precedent.
Geek Fam can go back if Cox finds his self-confidence, if he's feeling that big dick energy to blink in and initiate with the arena. This could be really good. Mac going in, the Dragon Knight jumps, Cox might die without getting off his arena. Oh, that's one of the worst arenas ever. No one wants to play with this little Roman gladiator. As Shuan comes back in, finds the Venge, and Geek Fam say, fuck this shit, we need to fire our offlaner, and they just TP out of them.
Man, this is some really good stuff coming out here from Talon. The fact that they recognize that they still don't know where the Dragon Knight is, and the Dragon Knight choosing to jump on the DK instead of jumping on anyone else. Oh, sorry, the Dragon Knight choosing to jump on the Mars instead of jumping on anyone else. just really enabled his team to have all the space in the world. And now Geek Fam, they're going to be on the back foot for the next 5 minutes. And even if you don't get any racks as talent, this is still insurance policy. This is going to prevent the side of Geek Fam from really being able to fight into you at full confidence, at full power. So if nothing else, your morphing is going to get more farmed. You're going to have Enchantress potentially picking up another item in this next couple of minutes. Maybe your Hoodwink also manages to pick up a new item. Maybe your Dragon Knight gets a BKB. So lots of good stuff here for the side of Talon. But yeah, coming back to the Queen of Pain, I wanted to talk about this earlier, but I didn't really get a chance to. I'm a little surprised that Shuan has opted not to go for the Aghanim Scepter. He instead opted for the Maid Slayer and the Shiva's Guard and the Witchblade. I mean, the Shiva's Guard I can understand, but I'm not too sure what the idea is behind the Witchblade. I guess he anticipates him right.
He made the Witchblade. He made the Witchblade after the Maid Slayer.
Yeah, which is why I'm a little confused. It's like, why would you want both of those items? That does not make sense. But yeah, Akashi, he's got a massive shield rune, 2.3k in shield still remaining. So assume they were going to try and poke high ground here, but again, you have to be
This is
careful.
Cox's chance to shine. If he can get the right initiation for the side of Geek Fam, this could be a really, really good fight. I mean, first they're chewing through the shield. Chuan wants to man up versus Natsumi. The Gleipnir and the Sharpshooter committed, and Akashi goes forward with the waveform. Talon are holding their ground. They've got the Aegis, and they've got all right to contest. And Cox is just being extremely patient, standing right next to the Ancient.
Oh yeah. Akashi, I like how he's really taking this slow and not really looking to push a bit too hard, because all it's gonna take is one little misstep. And
When was the
then
last time you saw Vlad's on Morphling? This is some new meta shit.
Yeah, this is something that people have been doing lately of this patch. It's because Vlad's has the ability to be disassembled now, right? So you can remove the Morbid Mask component, use it in a Satanic. You can remove the Blades of Attack component, use it in some other item. Although I don't really know what he would build with it. I guess he would build a Crystallis. So that's the...
I mean, he's
other part.
already made his...
Yeah, which is what is confusing. So interesting decision there, but even having a Vlad's on Morph is just good, right? Because it gives you so much damage. It's like 18% bonus damage for a hero that gets all of his damage from attributes. Or base attributes, excuse me. So, yeah. He has 131 bonus damage at the moment due to Vlad's. Which other item in the game is going to give him that much damage? Not even a Daedalus would compare.
It's
the
actually
flat
quite a
damage.
value item on Universal Heroes. Isn't it? Like, wouldn't it make sense on like a lot of...
If you have a universal hero on your team, I do imagine you would...
Okay,
want to-
Cox, my man, please. This time, yeah. They find Joe Camp. This is an excellent start, in my opinion. The Hoodwink taken out of the equation. No, she needs to be there. Buys back immediately. Eclipse committed, but WS not taking too much damage. A defensive swap to keep Cox alive, and now the Venge wants to run. Our Geek Fam going to still play this fight. Natsumi standing with his BKB. Wants the TP, but won't be allowed to. The damage a bit too much. Chuan is wicked sick, and he's having the game of his life as, well, Talon are just playing with their food, and I think this is it. This is the end.
Oh yeah, this is the end of this game, because Geek Fam, they overextended just a little bit while they were claiming the set of racks, and that is all the opportunity that Talon needed to try and close this one out. Now, you would say that this was a close game, and to an extent it actually was, but I feel like this was more misplaced coming out here from the side of Geek Fam. One last hurrah coming in from the Bounty Hunter. Quickly dealt with, the Sharpshooter used, bunch of abilities pressed, now coming back in. Tracks, Vessels up, Jokam getting low. He does not have buyback, but the Bounty Hunter needs to survive. The Enchantress pummeling at him from a far enough distance, and the Adaptive Strike to finish off the Bounty Hunter. And the right clicks to finish off the throne. Talon will take this first game, but well fought out here by Geek Fam. Hard game to win, though, if you were any other team except Talon. I feel like Talon really played this game well.
Yeah.
I mean, 0 deaths on the Morphling. That's something. You know, and then you look at Natsumi, who had 3 deaths. In fact, he had 3 of everything. He had 3 kills, 3 assists, and 3 deaths. But I guess that sums it up for the first game.
I think this is the kind of game where you are going to be a little bit unhappy about your offlaner's performance, really.
Would agree, but my issue is like, what is Cox really expected to do there? I mean, I feel like his itemization could have been better. Maybe you could have bought a hex. I think it was really the lack of disable on the side of Geek fan that was the issue.
Okay.
Because it's not that. Well, let me rephrase that, because it's not stuns that they lack, rather, but usable stuns, right? If you're using a magic missile to disengage, if you're using a fire blast to disengage, that's a fire blast you're not using to set up a kill on someone. That is a magic missile you're not using a kill to set up on someone. So if someone like Mars picks up a hex, what that can actually enable him to do is to just jump in and hex someone, and that's your initiation. You know, you don't need to commit arena, you don't need to commit anything else.
I mean,
All
he
of a
had
sudden, you
BKB
open up a
Vlad's
world of-
blink.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about the Vladimir's. I feel like Vladimir's is a big bait on Mars these days. I do like the idea behind it. It's like you already have 3 auras on your team, right? You've got the Luna Blessing, the Vengeful Spirit. So you add a Vladimir's on top of that, it just makes it a crazy amount of damage. But that Vladimir's is meant to be used at around the 20-minute to 25, maybe 30-minute mark. I mean, I really don't see the effectiveness of a Vladimir's post the 27-28-minute mark, because at that point, you know, it really doesn't matter if you have extra damage, because you're either able to go high ground or you're not. It's very black and white. So not too sure what the Vladimir's is supposed to do there. But yeah, I do agree. I feel like Cox could have shined a bit more individually, and him not having a hex this game is actually what I feel like could have been done differently from the side of Geek Fam. But again, you know, he's a professional player. I'm a 5.2k shit talker, so I may not necessarily have the right idea. And yeah, we'll see if Geek Fam can come back in the next game, won't we?
Okay. We will. I have put your face on camera. We're waiting on game 2.
folks.
I put your face on stream. I put your face on camera. That didn't make any sense. But yeah, we will. You are watching
Rock
the
you?
stream now, so we are watching you watching the stream.
Awesome. This is Inception.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we have a bit of a break. So all our 0 viewers, sorry, we're gonna have to wait a bit. And yeah, I mean, Hirak,
here's what I'm gonna
feel
do. I'm
free to
gonna
walk
watch-
away if you want to, or feel free to sit down. It's up to you.
Nah, I'm gonna be playing some 7 Days to Die in the meantime. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm
Okay,
gonna
just one thing in your OBS virtual cam thing. If you want your 7 days to die sound to go through, you have to set it.
do. Oh yeah, on my.
So I'm
OBS,
capturing
right?
your audio through Discord. On the OBS Ninja Can thing, you need to select your audio source, which would be the 7 days to die sound thingy.
Yeah. Okay, I will do that.
So
Audio
what
sources.
options? It's your
Yeah, I can
headset.
see.
Yeah.
There it is. Where's my?
And
headset?
now your 7 days to die
Oh.
will go through to the stream.
My mouse froze because the game started. Excuse me. Yeah.
Have fun.
Thank
BRB.
you. Okay, so you folks should be able to get the audio now from my game. I'll be watching. I'll be watching the stream through my phone in the meantime, just to keep up with chat and to keep up with you guys. So, do let me know if you have any questions. Although we're just gonna be waiting on the next game in case any of you guys are still here. So, or if any of you were here in the first place. But yeah, we're just gonna wait for game 2 to come around, and we will then move on and pass the second game. But for now, I'm gonna play 7 Days to Die until the next game is up. And for that reason, I think I should keep my Dota open, but I don't think I've got the bandwidth to do that. I think my PC might explode if I do. But fuck it, we'll give it a try. Give it a try anyway. Keep Dota open in the background. Go tournaments, professional. Yes. Whoops. Oh wait, is this the new game that has started here? I don't think so. What game is this? Oh, I guess this is the new lobby that is up already. All right. Well, I guess this, if the game starts soon, then we will jump into that. Let me just go into volume mix and reduce that so you guys can hear me a bit more clearly. Man, I missed the fucking trader by like 3 seconds. It's actually so annoying. Fuck you. Fuck you too. Okay, it's still loading. I somewhat feel like singing, so I'm gonna start singing, but I hope if any of you guys do not find my singing to be, well, particularly melodic, you can tell me to shut the fuck up, and I won't shut the fuck up because I don't give a fuck what you think. So I'm gonna sing if I want to. Time is going by so much faster than I. Okay, I'm singing Nickelback, although I probably should not subject you to Nickelback though. I feel like that is. I feel like I can have at least that much grace in me. Huh. What will I sing? Well, I don't feel like singing anything right now, but if a song comes to my head, I might. I think I'm gonna have to ask Vivek to adjust my cam position once he's back, because I realized that you guys can't really see most of the game because my face is occupying like 30% of the screen. You can see most of what I'm doing, but not all of it. Oh no, wait, what the fuck? Oh, I put the marker on the trader, not my home base. It's 2.3 kilometers away. Do I even want to go home? Don't think I do. You know what? Let's just go and mine something. If there is anything to mine around here, that is. See some iron. I believe this is some lead. Not too sure what I will do with the lead, but... Oh no, it's not lead. It's actually just rock. Never mind. So gray is rock. Correct. Huh. So is lead blue then? Are the blue squares the lead? I imagine they are. Yeah, fuck you. And fuck you too. Oh, whoops. Missed there on the swing. Where do I go? There's really not much to mine here except rocks. I guess I could get some gas, but I already have a ton of gas, so gas is not really an issue at the moment. Let's gas it up. Let's put the gas back in. Oh, health is fine. Man, there really is not much to do in the wasteland during the night time. Like the tundra biome more, because you can at least go around killing animals and getting some, well, you can get some zombie meat or you can get some raw meat, and you can always get some extra food. But there's really nothing to do here in the wasteland. Nothing grows here, so obviously not going to get any food. They changed the water system as well, so now you need to build the dew collector to get water instead of just picking filthy water up from ponds and then boiling it on the campfire, so can't do that either. I guess I'll just go scrap some cars. Maybe if I get lucky, I'll hit a couple of engines and can sell them to the trader later for some levels. There's a car. The problem is though my ratchet is really low level, so it takes like years. Oh, you hear Vivek? I hear you.
I'm here,
I
I'm
heard Can you just make my camera slightly smaller and shift it towards the top left corner,
1 second.
please?
It is in the top left.
No, in the corner, and make it a little smaller. Let me adjust my cam so you guys actually can see more of my face. Just realized, holy shit.
Done it.
Mm-hmm.
The draft is live, by the way.
Oh, the draft is live. Okay. Well,
And for
let's,
some reason, there are no casters in the game.
Oh, beautiful.
Anyway, we can jump back to the game.
Mm-hmm. I imagine they'll probably rehost the lobby then. I imagine it's the one with 16 people watching.
Yep.
Oh yeah, it is. There you go. You changed the scene on the thingy. All
Yep.
right, fair enough. Let me just stop sharing my desktop audio so that you guys are not annoyed. And that should do it. Okay. Doom ban again, and I have to say, out of all the heroes that have been buffed the most this patch, Doom is absolutely the most fucking annoying hero I've played against.
Mm-hmm.
Hands down. I think that hero just takes away another person's ability to play the game. It's like, it really punishes you for installing Dota. You wanted to cast spells? Nope, go fuck yourself. You wanted to heal? Nope, go fuck yourself. The only way you can survive Doom is by getting a shield from an ally. So something like a Nether Swap. Or something like Glimmer Cape, I think. Does Glimmer Cape block the damage coming out from Doom?
It does
I don't
reduce magic
know.
damage. Doom is magic damage. It does reduce it.
Oh, Doom is magic damage? Or is it pure damage? It is pure damage, actually. It is pure damage that prevents you from healing. I do know that certain barriers can tank Doom. I just don't know which one. I think Shield Rune can. I think if you pop Shield Rune
Yep.
after you get doomed, the Shield Rune will tank the Doom for you. But I don't know if this works.
Wouldn't Solar Crush
Let me
work the
get-
same way? Because it gives you
Sol-
flat out HP.
Does Solar Crest no longer give you a physical barrier?
What is
It's
it?
a-
It's a barrier or is it HP? It's okay.
Oh,
I
okay.
mean,
Solar Crest gives you an HP barrier, and Pavis gives you a physical barrier. So this is the thing about these items, right? It's the devil lies in the details in Dota. So when it's a Pavis, it gives you a physical barrier. So it's only against physical damage, which means if Slada used Slithering Crush, it would block that damage. I imagine. If it wouldn't block, I would be surprised. But if it's an HP barrier, I imagine it blocks everything. So you're right. Solar Crest should help with the Doom.
yeah.
But
Guys,
the problem is not that. The problem is just not being able to cast a single spell for 16 whole.
for some reason, I can't see any other bands after Doom.
Yeah, me neither. What the fuck? Let me actually rejoin the stream.
For those of
is
you just tuning in, and we actually have a couple of viewers, this is the ESL 1 Birmingham closed qualifiers for Southeast Asia. My name is Vivek, with me is Floki. We're a bunch of casters who love Dota, and hopefully you enjoy our company as we take you through game number 2. Game number 1 was won by Talon. It was a bit boring. I'm not gonna lie, and yeah, hopefully game number 2 is
I feel like that's the hallmark of Southeast Asian Dota. There's a lot of action, but most of it is fucking boring because it's action for no reason, really. You just see a bunch of people fighting and butting heads.
yep.
Okay, so I'm unable to spectate the game again after I left it initially. I think they are re-hosting the lobby.
Okay.
I think they should be doing that because the casters were not in, so yeah, that's probably why they would do that. And that's probably why you're not seeing anything getting banned, because if you noticed, both teams have 0 reserve time, so they all left that lobby. Yeah, okay, I think you should just rejoin, Vivek. There's a new lobby that's up.
With 7 people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, doing it.
But how are you, Calvin? I see you in the chat. Talon next TI winner. Apologies for the delayed reaction. How are you doing, man? How's Australia treating you? I mean, I hear Australia is a nice place, but
I'm going
I
there
don't
next
know
month.
myself. Oh, you are? Enjoy.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers won the Cricket World Cup against us. But we sort of shat the bed, so to be honest, we deserve that loss.
Mm-hmm.
My neighbors, or at least my neighbors' sons, are in Australia, which is why. And they, like, I spoke with them a couple of times. They actually said the place was really nice, so I don't know. Or maybe it's just that this place sucks so much that every other place is just good by comparison or by default.
It is nice. I've been there twice, thrice.
Isn't it? Yeah. I've heard a lot about how it's actually some of these Australian places that have one of the best places in the world to live, at least.
Sorry, we lost you after good quality. So good quality what?
A good quality of life.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, good quality of life in Australia and even in New Zealand after America and Europe. I mean, not after America and Europe actually. I mean, in a lot of cases before America and Europe, these places are ahead. And I wouldn't be surprised if the happiness quotient was also better in those places.
Yeah.
Wonder what the secret sauce is.
Kangaroos.
Well, I was gonna say selling all your assets to the Chinese government, and
They actually aren't very pleased with what's going on there with China, because
yeah, I've
Chi-
heard that too.
China, in the name of trade, has come and parked military ships on their coasts. And obviously, the Australian government is aware of this and they've actually permitted it. But a lot of the people of Australia are really unhappy about this.
Yeah.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Talon will continue to open with a hoodwink. I think it was who
I
played.
mean, isn't that just a fuck the draft? Isn't that just a feature of a communist government that they will use? Because they don't have. I mean, technically, they don't have. If you're running a communist government, then you don't have these sorts of private companies or private corporations that are detached from the government that are supposed to regulate these trades and whatnot, right? Like most. That's why you have coastal services, right? I mean, compared to military. That's why those two are separated in most countries. Like even in India, I think there is the Coast Guard and there is then the Navy. The Navy probably does not. I imagine the Navy does help out with the maritime stuff for trades and whatnot, like protecting ships from pirates and all of that. But I wouldn't be surprised if there were two separate branches because it does seem like having military ships in that area or in. I
Thank
mean,
you. We lost all of our viewers.
I don't think I don't think they were gonna stay here to begin with, Vivek. But
I mean, we could have tried.
mhm.
Anyway, Rubik. I like this. I think this is probably going to be a pause fight Rubik's. Cam will be playing the Rubik. Just looking at the bans. Hirak, what do these bans tell you about the patch?
Fuck this patch is what it tells me.
Why do you not like this patch? What's your main issue with it? I think it's
My main
fine.
issue is that universal heroes exist, and it's just I feel like they went. I don't like this patch mostly because of Doom and Timbersaw, really. I feel like those two heroes just make the game unenjoyable. I feel like Nature's Prophet and all of these other heroes really aren't as big of an issue as most people make them out to be. I feel like they're less of a threat compared to these other heroes. It's really the lone druids and the Timbersaws and the Dooms that annoy me the fuck out. Like the last game of Dota that I watched, that was enjoyable, and that's because there was no Doom and no Timbersaw in it. It was fun to watch. It was also probably somewhat fun to play. You can't say the same about Dota when there's a hero like Anti-Mage or a hero like Timbersaw or a hero like Doom in it. You know, you get doomed and then you just take your hands off the key, or you're like, sorry, my mistake was installing this game. I will go and rectify it right after this is over. But yeah, that's summary of why I don't like the patch. Anyway, Talon, this time around, they're the ones who are going to pick up the Luna, take it away from Geek Fam. And I think Talon probably can execute their Geek Fam idea a little bit better. Although Geek Fam have gone in a completely different direction with the Rubik and Tiny. They're hopefully, not hopefully, but they are looking to fight the side of Talon a lot more early on. And I like this. They're less focused on lanes and more focused on the mid game. And the Kotl fits perfectly into that idea, right? You're going to be not only blasting people with tons of magic damage, but you're also going to have a lot of ways that you can shove the creep waves in and force engagements to happen. So I like Geek Fam's idea so far.
Mm-hmm. I like Kotu. Think it's
Thank you, Calvin. Yes, I hope that Valve hires me and me only and not Vivek.
yeah.
That's the dream.
I'd be happy for you if that happened.
I wouldn't. I would be a spiteful son of a bitch.
Mm.
If you got hired and I did not. I would curse you to the ends of the earth.
I think that is many steps away. I think firstly we should do a tournament, which is a tournament before thinking about TI.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you, Calvin. You're very sweet, and I think you're kind of a dick for just playing with girls all the time. You can play with us too.
He doesn't play anymore, man. He doesn't have time for Dota. I actually spoke to him the other day.
No, he's got another ID. I see him playing.
Oh, he does?
No, I'm
Interesting.
just kidding. I'm just kidding. But yeah, interesting draft coming out from Geek Fab. They've got Clockwork in the mix, so I really don't know which hero is going to which lane. I'm guessing Rubik Clockwork supports, and I'm going to say something ridiculous. This,
Mm-hmm.
I think, with the last pick, it'll make more sense. But yeah,
What the fuck have Talon? What the fuck have Geek Fam picked? I'm so confused.
exactly.
Why?
I don't know who's going where.
Okay, Kotl is definitely going mid. You can start with that. I imagine the Rubik would be a 4, which means that Tiny would either be safe lane or mid. Nah, I'm fucked. Yeah, buddy, I know. Australia is... Not Australia, actually, but you told me that you don't get time to play Dota these days, so yeah, I can imagine what that's like. But Talon picking up the Ember Spirit, see, this is what I like. I like the fact that they pick up the Ember Spirit. You know, it's just so easy to shut down 4 idiots who want to run at you with their magic damage when they've got a debuff that reduces their outgoing spell damage.
Isn't this a good Ember game? Like, irrespective
is.
of Maid Slayer?
It is because of the Kotl, but not really, because you have to be setting someone up when you're playing Ember Spirit. I don't really see how Enchantress and Hoodwink make the most out of steering
Ember.
chains.
I think Hoodwink and Ember can really kill pretty much any one of these heroes on Geek Fam.
Yeah, but the question is if it was Hoodwink and Ember versus Cottle and Rubik, or Tiny and Cottle, or Cottle and Clockwork, would they win? And I think that's where it gets a little weird. I think their engagement or their way for Talon to fight into Geek Fam is not as straightforward as it is for Geek Fam, right? Geek Fam, it's simple. Clockwork, Hookshot, go in. Tiny, Avatars, go in. Cottle, Solarbind, wait for Solarbind to kick in and then go in. So I think that's quite how this game goes for Geek Fam. It's just how straightforward their draft is.
You copy, I know.
Mm-hmm.
Last pick, Magnus.
That is interesting.
Interesting. I think
I like that. I like that a lot more now because now you have someone to play off of Searing Chains. You chain someone, you skewer them into the Luna, the Enchantress, and the Hoodwink. Makes it easier for you to just pummel their face in. Geek Fam, though, on the other hand, I don't know how they respond to this. They just go for the Morphling themselves. That is interesting. Are they looking to go late then?
Mid-court.
Oh, it's an off-lane Cottle. That makes sense, and it's a mid-Rubik. Okay. A mid-Rubik, an off-lane Cottle, a safe-lane Morphling. This has to be the most cancer draft to play if you're the Tiny, or... Actually, it's not, right? Because you've got to follow up from all of your heroes. But I imagine their lanes are going to be interesting.
I think this kind of works because you have 3 range cores and 2 melee supports. This is the only way this support pairing could work. And the whole point of this draft from Geek Fam is like to find a hero and burst them. Like Avalanche or Telekinesis and kill that hero as quickly as possible. It's pretty much what these heroes do. They just have nukes, really. That's what the Cottle has. That's what the Rubik has. Sure, the Rubik can seal a spell and whatnot, but largely the 3 cores, they just offer quick burst damage to an extent. And of course, Morphling scales and can do right clicks later, but just the base toolkit without any, without adding a lot of items into the mix. All they do is damage. Calvin, if the game sounds are too less, if I'm louder than Floki or if Floki's louder than me, please let us know. And it's Talon versus Geek Fam. Geek Fam, they've pulled out something unusual with their draft. It's an off-lane Cottle. It's a mid-Rubik. It's as if Topsin never left SEA in the first place.
Yep. Well, we'll see if the mid Rubik
Oh my god, I said it in Akashi. He's like Topsin or Maxin.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Well, Akashi calling it out. I like it. But this is... I have to say, it is quite annoying to play against a mid Rubik. Although between the Rubik and the Cottle, I don't know who wins out. I don't know if the Cottle wins lane
You
or the
mean, 1
Rubik
second, between the
Oh wait,
Rubik and
Cottle
the
and Rubik are
Ember.
on the same team.
Between the
Excuse me,
Rubik
yeah.
and the Ember.
Oh yeah. Oh wow, this is actually a really fucking annoying lane for the Ember. The good news is that you are against the Rubik though, so eventually later on the Ember likes playing against the Rubik, but the lane does favor the Rubik a lot because you've got.
I think this game, this is going to be a really beautiful game to watch, Floki, because the supports are going to have to do so much. I mean, there's going to be so many rotations. I think we should watch out for what this Tiny accomplishes. I think this is going to be a fun, action-packed game. And, if somehow these guys drag this game for 20 minutes with only 4 kills, I will just end the broadcast.
Oh yeah, that would be interesting.
Anyway,
Well,
there's
level 1, nice 2-man avalanche, and they will find 3 bounty runes for their efforts here, Geek Fam.
Well done, good start. And Magnus with the starting items of a young Gork, wand and 3 ironwood branches. This is what I learned from Senior Gork, that for some reason this is the best way to start. Sometimes he likes to do this on the safe lane. And you were looking at the block at mid, Floki. Anything that caught your attention?
Not really.
Okay.
Standard blocks, just stuff that would normally happen. But I like Chuan's approach to dealing with this. His idea is, okay, well, you ideally want to you ideally want to Fate Bolt me, so I'm gonna press Flame Guard every chance I have and just push the wave into you. And typically that's how you play melee versus ranged matchups. It used to be the Sleight of Fist chains when the Sleight of Fist used to deal more damage and also costed less mana, but now the Flame Guard is the more efficient way of dealing with these heroes again.
Flame Guard makes complete sense, right? Like I don't think the Rubik is gonna get rid of that Flame Guard that easily.
Oh, not at all. As you can see, the Flame Guard always survives. So even level 2 Bolt does not take down the Flame Guard because Flame Guard only absorbs 70% of the damage that is dealt by a spell.
Top lane Akashi might die. If Jing didn't believe in his blood grenade, and rightfully so, because Akashi did have a bunch of stick charges. And yeah, I mean, you can see that the smarter players on the side lanes, they've begun with sticks. Because there's going to be a lot of back and forth spell casting, and that's exactly what you need. Actually, it's only one player on the side lanes that's begun with the stick, and that's Akashi. But
no, there's a Magnus as well who's got a wand.
Yeah. The Magnus got a wand. The Magnus did. That's what I was saying. He did begin with wand and Ironwood branches.
And the Hoodwink's courier died, so I imagine there was probably a stick on that courier. Yeah, you're not wrong. This is a lane where a lot of spells are going to be thrown, so sticks and wands make sense inherently. But I like Talon's approach to playing the top lane, which is just buy as many stats as you can and pummel the poor melee bastard who is trying to make sure that his ranged hero does not get pummeled. And that's sort of Jing's life right now. He just needs to go in and eat these right clicks like a champ, Iron Chin, Rocky Balboa.
Nothing much you can do, really. I think you be patient, you wait for the Kotl to just keep farming. Your time will come. As the wise saying from the movie Gully Boy goes, you just have to be patient.
Yep.
3-minute Lotus.
Well,
Moment of tension across the side lanes as Jing has done enough to secure one for Geek Fam up top, and Skem gets his as well. So,
yep. Well, that's gonna be a win on the Lotuses or the Lotai, I guess, for the side of Geek Fam. But it does come at the cost of giving up the Tiny, and this is why it really sucks to play a melee hero against Enchantress. It's just if she gets any creep followed up by boots, then you're like, I mean, actually you don't even need boots because you're playing against melee heroes, right, as Ench, so it's just easy for you to walk someone down. But yeah, if anything, the Tiny needs move speed, which is why he's actually gone for the Windlace here.
yeah.
Akashi, though, has to be careful. Doesn't have regen just yet. And Skem has rotated towards the top lane. In fact, they're going to try and toss a Ponyo. And Ponyo will be taken down by Cox. Skem not even needed.
Yeah, and they're going to try and force some action on this tier 1 tower. It is only the 4-minute mark, so the siege creep is not in play. But Jing and Skem are more than happy to just be running at their opponents. Jing also does have a sentry. I'm a bit curious to see if he gets off the D1. Ponyo dodges the blast and dodges danger for now, as Skem, slowed by the enchant, has got to be careful. Jing looking for the toss back. The Lucent Beam does cause a couple of problems, but the toss back is there. Ponyo caught in the cogs, nowhere to go, nowhere to run. Bambi will heal up with the Nature's Attendance, and now Talon can look to turn. The Bushwhacks there. Skem being slowed by the Acorn shot, and with the Lucent Beam, he falls. Talon do respond to the aggression coming out from Geek Fam, and just like that, that's the end of Skem and his venture towards the top lane.
Yeah, a little bit forced here from the side of Geek Fam, not gonna lie. They didn't really have to dive all that much. They battery assault. I mean, the toss, Jing tossed the Enchantress back while the clock was in the middle of like 4 different creeps. There's no way on earth they were getting that kill. So really Geek Fam overextending, but we'll see. I can understand why they're doing this. They are under a fair amount of pressure. This move towards mid has a higher chance of success though. Mac is looking to hit his level 6 off the wave. If the Ember manages to get even a single deny, I think he will prevent him. But Skem is already going to show himself. In fact, they're not going to wait for the level 6. They're going to go straight in. Chuan going to eat a tree throw. Has already used his Light of Fist. There's no way he's got up dodging this damage. And Mac will be able to pick up the kill. Skem making the mid rotation work. And Ponyo and Jokam just left watching as, well, they're not even going to be able to kill the siege creep.
Yeah, Jokam, I think his TP was just cooling down because his TP is off cooldown right now, but for some reason he couldn't make that rotation in time to really support the Ember, and that is a kill that Geek fam are very pleased with. They find the Ember before he hits level 6, and now Chuan just has to be a little bit careful until he hits the level 6 mark, but after that, to an extent, he's really activated and enabled. Up top, Akashi's... Oh, they tossed the Centaur Conqueror, not the Luna herself. And now Skem, taking too much damage under the tower, is going to die. This is just silliness. As Jing didn't really have mana for the Avalanche. And, yeah, I like what Skem and Jing are trying to do, but maybe you do this with a couple of mangoes?
Yeah, potentially. I want to talk a little bit more about what the Ember Spirit has done, though. He
Yes.
has opted not to max the Flame Guard or the Sleight of Fist. Instead, he's gone for 2 points in this. Now, you would wonder why that is the case, but I urge you, if you think once, you would understand. Click on the Rubik right now. You will see that he has stolen a level 1 Searing Chains. Not really an ability anyone wants to have. If you're a Rubik and you're not stealing an ability that is level 3 or level 4, your effectiveness is just not going to be that high. So, I mean, it's really a good it's good awareness coming out here from Chuan to not max out any of his abilities, instead opting to just go for this 1-2-2 build. Top lane Ponyo dies, sure, but that's gonna be Enchantress's life. Cox is gonna start making life difficult here now for the side of Talon, because Talon, I mean, Akashi is already, just retreated to the jungle. He's left this lane, so I imagine that tower should be falling top. Down bottom, though, it seems that the Magnus has been caught out, Vivek, and that is going to be the Magnus dropping. So,
Yeah.
Geek fam really starting to up the tempo here.
Yep. I've been watching, and I think what I did catch that kill. What Geek fam are waiting for is the phylactery on Mac. Once they have the phylactery, they really have a much better chance at demolishing the Heroes. Even without the phylactery, this Rubik and Cottle so early on are doing so much work. I did like you mentioning the Ember skill build and how it is an adaptation to having to face off versus a mid Rubik. Something similar in a sense on the Magnus's part as well. Max Skewer, is that a thing?
That is a thing, yes. When you're against ranged heroes, it's a thing mostly because it really enables you to go on them. I mean, I'm not sure if it's a thing against a Morphling specifically, because I feel like Morphling is one of the heroes that doesn't care if you skewer into him. To hold on to that thought, Mac finds a stray hoodwink, chilling.
Not stray.
And
I mean,
again-
they were chasing her from the river, and yeah, eventually they found her. She tried to TP out. Unfortunately, ends up dying. Puts her TP on cooldown, and now Max got his phylactery.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting them to pretty much just refill in the mana department and go again.
Yeah, and look at what Chuan is doing still, right? Now he's starting to max the Flame Guard, but I really want to see him just commit to this idea of not really skilling any ability to its fullest, because that's really denying Rubik a lot of effectiveness that he could have at this point that he's not having. Simply,
the thing is, the
because the
Rubik is
ability
still
is
going
not
to
high level.
steal spells from any of
Yeah.
the other heroes, right? Like
But who? The level 1 Lucent Beam? What is he going to steal? Is he going to
Hoodwink.
steal the level 1
Hoodwink.
Lucent Beam? Okay, he's going to steal the level 3 Acorn Shot or the level 1 Bushwhack. That sounds fun. Or he's going to steal the level 3 Enchant coming out from the Enchantress,
mean,
which
then-
also sounds fun. Or he's going to steal the level 3 Skewer without having a Blink, which also sounds fun. The only ability Mac can steal right now that would be really good for his team would be the Empower, because then you can give it to the Morphling, and the Morphling can actually right-click, or
up
you can
top,
give it to yourself.
Ponyo caught in the cogs. Is actually Jing that's going to melt, and Ponyo will pay the price with his
Oh, the
life.
shot.
The hook shot and the Illuminate does do a fair amount of work. And now with that slow coming out from the Keeper of the Light, they will eventually find Akashi. Chakra Magic handed over to Skem. He's got the Battery Assault once again, and Skem finds himself a double kill. All they lose is a tiny in the process. I think Geek Fam are okay with this. I mean, all said and done, I'm looking
People
at...
are really happy.
Yeah. I'm looking at the net worth. Like an idiot, for some reason, I've been looking at KDA for a bit. But yeah, in the net worth department, the Luna is doing pretty well for herself.
Yeah. Double damage rune now available for the Rubik, so he's going to be taking down this tower. I don't think we really have a way of defending this.
As a linguist, I must correct you.
Amplify damage. I apologize.
Oh my god.
But
Mid
to be
lane,
honest-
the damage has been amplified. It looks as if they'll find Chuan. Wow, no. I
There
thought
it is.
I thought Chuan could escape. He's been having a really rough game and
Damage amplified.
damage amplified. And everybody's probably in their head. They're like, we need BKBs, we need 4-staffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need a lot to be able to deal with all this early spell damage coming out from the side of Geek Fam. We didn't
For
really
sure.
make predictions for this game, Floki, but do you think we're going to game 3?
Just a moment. I'm just drinking some water.
Mm-hmm. Well, another tier 1 tower for the side of Geek Fam, while up top Skem gets a kill, but Jokam isn't going to allow him to get away with it. Damage being dished out by the Kotl as... what is that? Solar Bind? Okay, Solar Bind does do a little bit of work, and with the Spirit Vessel, he's actually going to find the kill on a Jokam. He's now swinging over to the mid lane where Mac is in danger. Pops a fire, stays alive. Natsumi joined the party as well. And with the stolen chains, they actually find the kill onto the Ember. And now they look for more. Ponyo dies as well. They want a Rubik. They can't have him.
Man, beautiful rotation coming through from Natsumi. It's saving not only saving Mac's life, but also getting involved and actually helping Jing finish up his Blink Dagger now. Mac, he did not manage to steal the Searing Chains. He had the Flame Guard. The Flame Guard that was popped very smartly by the Ember Spirit. He used Searing Fist, Sleight of Fist, not Searing
Sleight
Fist.
of
That's there it is. Yeah, he used a Sleight of Fist chains.
The hook
initially.
shot. Scam, that was just beautiful. And with the Adaptive Strike and Mac in the vicinity, they have enough. And that's the Luna dying. I mean, if you just look at the past couple of minutes, there's been a core dying on each and every part of the map. And it looks as if Geek Fam, they're not going to rest even for a moment. They're looking for more. They found the Hoodwink. The Scurry Furry has nowhere to go as Jokam. Well, he's eventually going to die. It's Cox getting the kill. Cox is dominating. And Cox...
Oh yeah, he's coming for your cock.
I didn't say it. Jing
I
is
said
actually
it.
looking for more. He's found the Ember, tosses him back on a Mac. Chuan has a Remnant out, but there comes WS showing up for the first time in the entirety of this game with a Shockwave, with a Skewer, pulls Jing back onto his tier 2 tower, and Jing, well, this time he's going to end up dying.
Yeah, well, this is, I have to say, this is very good.
Mid
gear
lane.
coming from Geek
Another
Fam.
Skewer coming out from WS. This time they find Skem. Skem should probably end up following. The Illuminate does a little bit of work, keeps Skem alive, but even more importantly, sets up for the kill on Ponyo. And now Natsumi's here. They find Akashi. 2 cores dead. The Ember dead as well. They're searching for more. They see WS, but he's going to blink and skewer away. Cox will not be able to stop him, but he's still chasing. Doesn't have the Solar Bind, as he doesn't have his Spirit Form. But he's going to keep harassing and haranguing WS, who eventually decides that, well, I'm done. I'm just heaping out.
Yeah, I also have to say, I really like how Natsumi is getting involved in these fights early. It's really pushing the side of Geek Fam
Yeah.
over the edge. This game is sort of hard to play for Geek Fam if your Morphling does not show up, because outside your Rubik and Kotal, you don't really have any heroes that can make the most out of a Tiny catching someone or a Clockwork catching someone. They can't get in there with them and make sure that Talon's lineup cannot just stand and fight. It's really Geek Fam's lineup that can stand and fight if they manage to close the distance. So yeah, really good rotations coming out from Natsumi. You did ask me a question earlier, who you thought I was gonna win. I actually thought right away when I saw the draft that Geek Fam are doing something really cool, and I'm pretty sure it's them who are gonna take this game. I mean, if I wasn't convinced before, I certainly am convinced now because of the 11k lead. It should be a really hard game for the side of Talon to come back into. They had some ideas. They thought
Ponyo, hello? Why are you on that part of the map, sir?
Yep.
He
And you,
crossed over into the enemy jungle just by himself. I have no idea what the play was, but he gets punished, and rightfully so. And yeah, 15 minutes into the game, 10,000 net worth advantage. My co-caster feels comfortable enough to make a prediction.
No, I mean, I seriously felt that Geek Fam's lineup idea was really, really cool.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And it's alludes to what I said earlier, right? In the last game, I said to deal with Enchantress, you need to deal it with the supports. You can't really deal with Enchantress with cores. If you're using core heroes to deal with the support, that is just most of the time bad Dota. Enchantress is one of the heroes that proves that. I mean, there are some
Jing, he's
exceptions.
going to toss out the back. This lifted, burnt into a moment. Bursted, excuse me, in a moment of seconds with that phylactery. He's going to end up falling.
My
I
God.
mean, usually it's the Magnus that's supposed to be dispositioning an enemy hero, but Jing is taking that responsibility upon himself. He did see Ponyo, or he didn't. Maybe it was night vision, I'm not quite sure. They don't see anyone just yet. Ponyo hasn't yet walked into their vision. A scan being tossed out. They know that there's Ponyo there, and Jing is going to jump in, looks for the toss back, will just toss him on the spot with the Solar Bind and the Mist Illuminate. They'll eventually get the kill with Max Fatebolt. As, yeah.
Yeah, that is quite something. I not gonna lie, Geek Fam are really firing on all cylinders in this game, and
Never
it's
in my life am I going to toggle vision again. 1 second.
oh, Natsumi. I'm sorry, no, I didn't mean Natsumi. I meant Akashi. Excuse me.
Did he die?
Natsumi is playing the Morphling. No, he was close though. The Rocket Flare connected. They had vision. They had blinks ready, but he TP'd out just in the nick of time.
They can go again, actually.
But they can keep going. That's the beauty about Geek Fam's lineup. They have no downtime. Their only big ultimates they have are the Kotl ultimate as well as the Clockwork ultimate. So really, really good at just fighting the side of Talon. And this is typically how you beat
Oh,
big teams, right?
Jing, he's found the hoodwink. Read like a book. Joe Cam tossed out a position, will die. And at the same time, it looks as if Geek Fam, they're going to try and defend their tier 1 tower on bottom. Mac with the Phylactery and the Fatebolt will ensure that he's got enough burst damage to bring down the Enchantress. And just like that, they find a tier 2. They hold on to the tier 1. And I mean, the map is starting to shrink for Talon Floki. I think they have to take a fight. They have to get the Magnus involved, put that blink to use, get an RP, and try and work on the back of that.
Yeah, I think it's Talon really needs some more time in this game. I mean, holy fuck, look at what Chuan has queued up, man. That is not encouraging to look at. He's queued up the Hand of Midas right now. And I sympathize, you know, the only way they imagine themselves winning is if they get some more time to farm. Because look at what happens. He shows his face for a moment, and instantly there's a tiny and Morphling on him. Yeah, this game is rough. Talon, I feel like they need to smoke out his 5 and take some sort of fight. If Scam dies here, it'd be really big, but no, he does not. In fact, he creates enough distance with the cogs. Akashi's gonna be falling. Natsumi takes credit for the kill. And I think this is starting to look like the beginning of the end.
Yeah, you said they need more time, and of course they need more time, but they're not going to be given time. So rather, yeah, I think it's easier to try and make a play now than put immense pressure on your Magnus to pull a miracle, like when your tier 3 is being pushed by just a Morphling and all you see is a Morphling. Joe Cam being hounded in his own jungle. I think Jing is caught up to him. And yeah, he's going to toss Joe Cam out of position. The Fatebolt. Ouch.
This is painful to look at, man.
It
This
is.
so painful.
It is. And it's not just the Fatebolt. Mac is sitting with a level 3 Dagon. So I like Dagon.
Oh!
What?
Scam misses the hook shot. Goes wide.
I-
And Ponyo, good old Bambi, continues to prance about, but unfortunately gets taken down by a neutral creep.
I miss this entire thing. I don't know. Irrelevant in the grand scheme of
Grand
things.
scheme. Yeah. Bambi just punished for her sins of venturing outside her base. Yeah, I think the only way you win this game right now as Talon is if you smoke and you find a 2-man RP on 2 cores. I think that is the only way you're going to win this game. And when
Yeah.
I say 2 cores, I mean the Rubik and the Kotl. Because even if you catch Morphling,
in a sense though, Floki, you are right, but at the same time, Geek Fam are not really trying harder to close the game out yet. I mean, they're looking for kills, they're owning the map. All of that is true, but there's still time, and Magnus has decided to do the wise thing and try and complete his BKB before that one final fight. But yeah, I mean, you do not. I feel the thing with Cox in the previous game and a similar thing that's going on with WS in this game is that you don't want undue pressure on yourself. For now, they'll find Skem, bushwhack him to a tree, commit the RP. Was it necessary? I don't think so. And Cox has shown up. He's found Akashi, forced Akashi's BKB, and there's nothing much that boys over at Geek Fam can do to stop that Luna from TPing. RP on cooldown. Do Geek Fam want to get anything in particular done on the map with this?
Yeah. I mean, this is just an invitation for Geek Fam to go Rosh. And there it is. You know, the moment RP gets popped, they're like, all right, well, all the threat has been taken away. Now we go claim our free Aegis. And then we're going to start contacting Talon very aggressively about their car's extended warranty. Or rather, their Ancient's warranty. I mean, it's... I hope they have it because... Well, they do have a warranty. You know, they did win game 1, so they get to lose this game out and adapt for game number 3. But, hey, I did tell you who's going to go the distance.
Yeah. You win a game, you get to lose the next one.
No, I told you it was going to go the distance in the first game, I think. Did I?
No, but I mean, I'm just repeating your logic.
I see.
Now they have the Aegis, and I mean, Chuan is hanging around, but well, Natsumi plays a better Ember, hence proved. And Natsumi's on a monster kill streak. If they land one RP, Floki, and if they find the kill on this Muffling or pretty much any one of these heroes, they're going to find so much gold and really find a way back into this game. But I don't know if that time's going to be, if that opportunity is going to be presented to them. WS, he's completed his BKB, but all said and done, I think what his thought process is that he's going to go and look for a skewer with the BKB and the blink. Not so much just commit for one big RP. Maybe use the BKB so that he can actually skewer someone out of position. Patience personified by Talon as they wait on their high ground looking for opportunities. WS has walked out. He's found one. It is the Cottle. Cox, pull out of position, will end up dying. That's an unstoppable streak taken away. The damage is there. It is Shuan taking the brunt of it, but he's going to manage to remnant out. Natsumi standing in the front lines, soaking up whatever damage Talon has to offer. Will chip away at them, and eventually it is a buyback from Cox. And now, Geek Fam, they're just moving on to the next big objective. That's RP committed, and all you do is force the buyback on the Keeper of the Light.
Talon, they might lose their melee racks. I think they potentially would have, but they actually glyphed, so gonna stay alive. And now Natsumi gonna choose not to give up the Aegis, and yeah, Geek Fam, they do need to run. Without Jing, it is gonna be hard for them to go high ground. But again, Geek Fam, they come knocking, and Talon, they at least have some answers. They had one thundering answer with the RP, and I feel like this is all they need to do. Sometimes Magnus players, or even I, tend to get stuck in this position, because I am a Magnus player, where you're not sure if popping the RP and finding something is worse than popping an RP for 2 cores. Which is
skewer, they found one, they found Skem. And immediately reinforcements have arrived. Natsumi waveforms in, but he eats an eclipse and he ends up dying. Skem and Natsumi's Aegis taken away. Natsumi has got a man up all by himself. Strength morphing for dear life. He's soaking up a lot of damage, but he's going to get skewered back. Something disjointed that skewer. I think it was a 4-star that was tossed out under Natsumi by...
Yes, Cox.
Oh, I love Cox.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'd say the same. Sure.
Okay, look at this. This time WS goes in, finds nothing with the skewer, will eventually find Natsumi, but Natsumi says, thank you very much. You brought me closer to the people I want to kill, and I will take this opportunity to find the kill. WS dead, Akashi being tossed around, basketball being played with the Luna as he ends up dying, and now they're looking for more. Elsewhere, Chuan trying his hardest to stay alive as Mac is hounding him. Chuan will manage the TP out, barely, but yeah, they've lost the lane of racks, and Natsumi can keep going for days. He doesn't have the ages, but he's got good old Cox, who's got his back, and will pull out when needed.
These Cox jokes. Oh my fucking god, man. I just hope that I just hope Cox is a name that he has chosen and not the name that was given to him by his parents, because I cannot imagine what elementary school must have been like for him. Or middle school must have been like for him, excuse me. Everyone's still relatively innocent in elementary school.
Yeah.
Well, Tormentor will also be claimed, adding salt to the wounds of Talon, as there's one final lane of racks standing between Geek Fam and victory.
Yeah. One final lane of racks in. I mean, I have a friend and he calls a very rudimentary play at this stage of the game, which I completely agree with, which is get together, smoke, go find a pick-off before they regroup. And they are doing some version of that. I mean, Talon was supposed to, but it's Akashi that ends up dying before his team even connects to him. This is just painful to watch. That shouldn't be happening. Akashi, you couldn't walk into top lane 10 minutes ago. Anyhow, WS is going to try and make a play happen. Akashi does have buyback. WS wants to be careful. The RP committed. Who does he find? He finds one. It is the Rubik. Mac, he's got buyback if he wants to reconnect. The Hoodwink dropping low stays alive. Mac, though, has got to be careful. The impetus damage and those bouncing glaives will ensure that Mac ends up dying. Elsewhere, Skem's still alive and healthy, and they found Chuan. Chuan dead without buyback. The Hoodwink also dead. And now WS being bounced about with the blinding light and the cogs. Will not do all that much as Natsumi is cleaning house, and well, this is it. Nothing more that can be expected by Talon. And if I had to pick an MVP, it was a strong performance from the Rubik.
Cox.
I wanted to say Cox, but
yeah, good performance by Rubik. So definitely, I think it's the nature of the hero, really. If this hero does not go checked for the first 20 minutes, he gets away with so much in the mid game, and that's what happened. He's just setting up the Clockwork and the Tiny for success. You always have follow up with the Cortal, with the Solar Bind amplifying all the magical damage coming out. This was a very easy to execute game for Geek Fam. The only thing they had to make sure was that they don't screw up their lanes too hard. And that's what happened. So, yep, we're going to go to a game 3, which should be interesting to watch. I have a feeling that Talon might slip away with this one after learning what they learned in game 2, but we'll see.
Yep. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. Hirak, do you want to play your dead for whatever?
Yeah, you can put my face up on the stream. I will keep our audience entertained.
I will put your face up
in a bit.
I will. There you go. Viewers, enjoy as my co-caster shares his Discord with you. Have you lagged? Okay. My co-caster is talking to his mom. Yeah,
just a moment.
You're
There's
live.
at the door.
You're live.
I know. There's someone at the door.
We can see your Discord.
Oh, you can see my Discord. Beautiful.
Oh, geez, all that porn.
Yeah, of course. That's.
Oh my
really
God!
good.
Look at this guy. He's actually searching for black cocks. Jeez. Anyway, folks, we're gonna take a quick break. Let me just update the scoreboard. Talon 1, Geek Fam 1. Waiting on game 3. Okay.
I apologize. There was some folks who were at my home, which is why I could not keep you guys entertained. But I will get back to doing just that in a moment. I don't know what you guys are seeing on stream right now. Let me just refresh the stream again so I can see what you guys are seeing. Yeah, okay, Dota 2 is running. Just gonna wait for the next game to start. Let me just put this up. Oh, is it live already? Huh? Oh, wow, okay, the lobby is up. Interesting. So these closed qualifiers are coming, and I mean, they are occurring very, very quickly. Okay, fair enough. Well, as soon as the game starts, we're going to be jumping back into that. But for the time being, I will enjoy this zombie game. It's called 7 Days to Die, and if any of you folks are wondering, it is what I play when I am tired and frustrated with the many, many idiots that I run into while I play the game of Dota 2. So it's my way of de-stressing, if I may use that term. I forgot something. I'll just be right back. Excuse me, guys. Okay, I'm back. I actually went to get a bottle of this, but my mom didn't know that this still had something remaining in it, and she ended up throwing it aside. So that is what I was looking for this entire time that I could not find. And you guys you can see it a bit more clearly. It's called Hajmola. It's like a digestive pill. Not like I really need it at my age, but it's actually very tasty. It tastes nice. Man, these are so tasty. You're not supposed to have more than two in a day. But of course, me being 24 and not giving a fuck about what anyone says, I pop seven in my mouth at a time. Oh, it's so good. It tastes so nice. Let's see. Can't see how many people are watching for some reason. Hmm. Never mind. Man, I've just been enjoying these pills and not saying anything. They're so good. If you have an Indian friend, I really recommend trying this. I apologize in advance if you get addicted to it. It's like crack, except better. Fuck you. So what I'm doing right now is just going around scrapping these cars for parts. It seems like the draft is live, so I will go back into that. Let me just shoot good old Vivek a text. Oh, whoops! I forgot you guys can see my WhatsApp. Uh, Not like I have anything to hide there, but I still respect my own privacy. Hey, game. Draft started. Come fast.
I'm jumping into the game.
There you are. And this time around, the casters are already in the lobby. And right away, Geek Fam, unchanging with their bands, will take out the Doom and the Timbersaw. I like it.
Is CM really strong in this patch?
Not really strong, but she has a place. I wouldn't say she's Apex, but she's like probably C or B tier.
Okay.
There are scenarios where she's good.
I just saw a Qualifier video which said that this hero counters every meta and it's not CM, so I don't know what he meant by that.
I think it counters a lot of the mobility-based heroes like your Primal Beasts and your Spirit Breakers, but that's about it.
Qualifier doesn't know shit, which is more believable.
Yep.
No, just kidding. But no, seriously, I mean, if somebody knows why CM is supposed to be really strong, or if I'm just completely wrong about this, please enlighten us in chat. Those of you just tuning in, we are casting the ESL 1 Birmingham close qualifiers for Southeast Asia. It has been a really fun game number 2 between Geek Fam and Talon. Geek Fam did manage to come back with a very unconventional draft, and as you can see, there's a respect ban. You gotta respect Cox, as his Keeper of the Light has just been banned out straight up in the second phase by Talon. So, yeah, they realize that this hero. I mean, I don't think when we began this day, Hirak, that we would have thunk that Keeper of the Light would be worth banning. Like, no.
Oh yeah.
I didn't wake up with that.
I think it's partly because Cox, but also Kotl in general is a strong mid hero right now. I think he's a lot better than your Queen of Pains and
But
your
hold
other
on,
ranged magic
he's
carries.
been a strong mid hero for a while.
Not necessarily. I don't think he was picked. Was he picked a lot at ESL 1 Kuala Lumpur?
He was picked before that. He was picked. Sumail played him mid. I think Abid has played him mid. He has been played mid. This guy.
He's been around, but he's not been at the apex, is what I mean to say. I don't think this hero has been that strong, but I think he's gained some levels of power simply due to Primal Beast and Spirit Breaker going out of the meta, right? Two heroes who are very good at gap closing. So, just a moment, man. I'm so involved in my Hajmula. I apologize. But because you had a Kotl that was... Because your Kotl was usually playing against your Spirit Breakers and your Primal Beast, you were guaranteed a game of misery. Now that those heroes are out, his value goes up, and his toolkit is still very useful. You know, you got the Solar Bind, you've got the Blinding Light, you've got two abilities that one that amplifies magic damage, another that deals with enemy team's physical damage. So you cover a lot of bases with Kotl as well, which is why I think that hero is popular, at least somewhat. Now, when it comes to figuring out the build, that has been a bit of an issue. But I think people should experiment more with Ethereal Blade and Slideify. I think that's the correct itemization for that hero. After your spirit vessel, of course. I don't mean before your spirit vessel of boots of travel. Because that hero's number one issue has always been okay, you can farm a lot, but what items can you really buy that help your team? And I think that depends on game to game, but that is not necessarily a weakness that that hero cannot take advantage of items. It's just that you really want to think about what your team needs and then build those items. He can even buy auras. I don't think Kotl, Keeper of the Lights, mind buying Pipe of Insight either. That is also a very strong item to have in case your team needs it. But speaking of Pipe of Insight, I feel like Geek Fam are gonna need one up against all of this magic damage. We'll see what they pick though. They've picked up the Ogre Luna. It's round 2 to try and make this work. Pretty much the same draft coming out from both sides actually, as in the first game if you look at it. Both teams thinking that their way of playing Dota is correct and good enough. And I definitely think that Geek Fam didn't have any drafting issues in the first game, but they had execution errors. Tiny ones that really ended up costing them. I mean, sure, they could have addressed the Morphling a little bit better with their draft, but I feel like their way of addressing them was not... let's just say that it was not entirely wrong. They did have the right idea.
In the previous game?
In the first game, yeah. When it was Talon, when it was Geek Fam dealing with the Morphling. Their idea was simple, right? Like they were hoping that they could just group up with the DK as 4 and Pressure and Luna could come in when fight starts to develop, but that didn't really go down as planned because I believe the Bounty Hunter didn't get off to a good start. They tried to set him up, but they lost a couple of fights and then they were like, we can't keep forcing these engagements, otherwise they will just outright win because they've got the stronger late game. Or at least stronger late game. Which is after the 40-45 minute mark.
Mm-hmm. The TA ban is kind of weird though. I mean, I was just wondering if Talon want to pick up Buck. What are they really thinking with that TA
No,
ban?
I think the TA ban is a smart ban because they could pick that hero mid, and now you've got all of this damage coming in from a single Dragon Tail, right? It's just so difficult for
The TA was
when
banned before
for-
the Dragonet was picked.
Oh, he was?
Yeah.
Okay, she was. That is interesting. Wait, I forgot how the bans work. Am I? Huh? Don't you get 3 bans in the second phase? Oh, you know. Oh, okay. Wow. Oh, right. I forget. It's 2 Radiant bans and not 2 Dire bans. My apologies. I knew that one side gets 2 bans in the second phase. For some reason, I thought it was Dire. But, okay. They go with the Kunkka, some more control this time around. Not picking up the Queen of Pain. And I like that adjustment because I don't think Queen of Pain was the answer there. I don't think the Maid Slayer Witchblade Queen of Pain really did all that much. Oh no, wait, that was Talon's, excuse me. Sorry, the Bounty Hunter was not the answer, regardless.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, even for Talon, I don't think that Quop had that Queen of Pain had the kind of impact that Talon were really hoping for in that first game.
I think he did a fair amount of damage actually.
Did a fair amount of
Regardless,
damage, really, but
Floki,
you want to be building
last pick
ag.
for Talon. What do you want?
Not too sure here. I think they're lacking... Well, they're really lacking an answer for all the tanky heroes on the side of Geek Fam, and Necroforce does stand out to me, but I don't think you want to play Necroforce into this lineup. That can kill you without really getting into your face. So they're gonna go with Monkey King, which is a classic answer for any melee hero mid, so that is... wow, that is one way of dealing with the Kunkka.
Yeah.
And this can actually turn very deadly. If Chuan gets the ball rolling, then I can see Talon running at the side of Geek Fam very early. And then the game, or the ball rather, is entirely in Talon's court.
Yeah. And then Cox has to go and get the ball back.
You can't. We just cannot help it. I
Because Cox
have
is
to
on the
admit.
Kunkka.
Oh, okay. It's. Wait, what?
It's a mid Dragon Knight.
Okay. I mean, I guess the mid Dragon Knight makes more sense than the mid Kunkka against the Monkey King, but I think the Dragon Knight still gets slapped around by the Monkey King. The Monkey King does not care. I mean, even though you've got the dragon's blood and all that armor, I don't think Mac is gonna have a good time in his lane. It's
This
gonna have to be
is.
a recovery-based game for him.
I just want to say, if you've read the patch notes, folks, you will know that this is actually a good game for Chuan to make Orb of Corrosion.
Yep,
was-
sure.
I strongly insist that he makes an Orb of Corrosion. Does he need to make a Maid Slayer? Nah.
I don't think Maestler is the item you go for. I think you really want to get Diffusal because if you look at the enemy heroes, Hoodwink, Ogre, DK, Kunkka, not heroes with typically super high mana pools. If you can get on top of them and stick, you can really hinder their ability to play these team fights. They need every bit of mana that they can get. And every time you jump on top of anyone, be it an Ogre, be it a DK or a Kunkka, and you hit them a couple of times with your Diffusal, you take away their ability to fight almost entirely. So,
Yep.
really, a lot of things that the Monkey King can do this game if he gets off to a good start, but that is the big question, the $1,000,000 question. Well, we'll see if the side of Geek Fam can somehow answer back and answer what Talon and their draft can do and provide. It is going to be difficult, but if they manage to survive the lanes, they don't need to do amazingly. They can just survive the lanes. They have some pretty cool stuff. You can snipe of one hero from afar with the X mark and the sharp shot. Sorry, the sharpshooter.
Sharp shot.
Sharp shot, indeed. I don't play the hero, so I don't care what the spells are. I apologize. Of course, I care what the spells are, but man, her ultimate. I don't know why it's called sharpshooter. To be honest, it doesn't look and feel and sound like a sharp shot. It sounds more of like a gigantic ass bullet hitting you in the ass, and then it breaks you. I think it should really be renamed to "Fuck you, you're broken" or something along
Asbird.
those lines. Oh yeah.
I think as
Well,
yeah.
as what?
Bird.
As how do you spell that?
You said it's a gigantic bird that hits you in the ass. So.
Bullet, not a bird.
Oh, you said bullet. I thought bird. Never mind. Okay. Anyways, before we
Moment is
go
past.
on this fucking pointless tangent, who do you think is gonna win?
I feel like this is a game where Geek Fam. I'm gonna say Talon, but I think Geek Fam can also win if Talon get a bit too ahead of themselves.
Right. So anyone could win. Good prediction. Absolutely.
No, Talon is my prediction.
Oh, okay.
It's not diplomacy. I just told you who's gonna win, but I told you how the other team can also win potentially.
Oh, okay. Thanks for believing in them because they didn't until you came up with that.
Yeah, they really needed that. Geek
Uh,
Fam, whatever would they do?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm actually prone to agreeing with you. I think Talon should win this. I think they have strong lanes. I think Ponyo has been born as fucking half. I don't know what an enchantress is a combination of, but
Half
it-
deer, half human,
yeah,
half elf.
just second nature for Ponyo, and I think he's very good in the laning phase. One thing though is, unlike some of his counterparts from Europe, he doesn't really farm and scale as much as other enchantresses. But it's not Ponyo playing the enchantress this time around, Floki. It's actually
It's
Jokam. Huh.
Yeah, that is interesting. I mean, regardless, whether you are an enchantress or whether you are a wench, everyone gets smacked by the big dong of ogre. So it's not an easy lane. And Skem can just keep doing this. He's in fact gonna pop the blood grenade. Is Chokam dead? Nope, he is gonna take the Nature's Attendance, so he's gonna be fine for now. And that's a blood grenade wasted here from Skem. Natsumi he had a moment to breathe, but only a moment. Couldn't really get a ton of creeps in the meantime. Sitting at 2-1, now 3-1. Mid lane, Mac doing okay, despite being against the Monkey King, but yeah, this matchup does not get any easier for the Dragon Knight.
Yeah, I think once he has the Orb of Corrosion, once he starts affecting even just the Orb of Venom, but once he really starts harming that HP region, I think over time Mac will be kicked out of this lane.
Yep. And Mac, I mean, you can see in his item build as well, right? He's trying to beef up. He's just trying to survive as much of the damage that Chuan can deal to him. But this is going to start to get very hard to deal with once Chuan hits level 4 and level 5 with the level 2 boundless.
Interesting that
Every time you come up is...
Mac didn't decide to get a bottle.
No, it makes sense because the Monkey King is always going to be slapping you wherever you go, right? So if you're chasing a rune, he will instead just chase you. And because he has Mischief, which gives him move speed, he's going to be able to get 4 hits off you every single time. So it's actually a very futile endeavor to try and go for the runes.
I mean, I think Mac is still dead.
Akashi, top lane, getting hit by the torrent, but the morph will keep him alive. Attribute shift, allowing him to morph into strength. In the meantime, Mac just continuing to be pounded on by Chuan, but Chuan really not getting as many denies as he would like on this Monkey King. He is sitting only on 5. Expect the Monkey King to have at least 8 or 9 denies by now in this matchup. This really is a matchup that heavily favors the Monkey King, so I'm surprised. I mean, Mac has done a decent job, and look at that. This is what happens. This is why he doesn't go for the bottle. The moment Mac turned his attention towards one of the runes, Chuan started chasing him with the Mischief. This is exactly why. But, yep, coming back down towards the side lanes. I'm not too sure which lane it is you're watching. Actually, could you do me a favor and stream on Discord so I can see what you're seeing?
Okay.
Yeah, it'll help me be or speak in a more relevant way. Based on what our audience is watching. Well, while that is happening, it seems that it seems that Mac has done really well for himself. You know, this is not bad at all. He's sitting almost at full HP. He's got the double braces. He's got 1000 HP. And Chuan, even though he has hit level 5, I don't think he's going to be able to stop Mac from getting to level 5. And Mac, well, looks like those two denies really tipped Chuan over the edge. But yeah, now this lane gets really hard. Now that Chuan's got level 5. Now you really don't want to give the Monkey King any Jingu stacks. Otherwise, you're going to be getting smacked around a lot more. Mac is A-okay for the time being. Even got the boots now, and while the Monkey King does have the boots in turn, it doesn't really matter because the one thing Mac is doing really well again is making sure that he's shoving out the wave with creep aggro every single time. He's trying to get auto attacks off on the creeps, while Chuan is focused on auto attacking the heroes. So Mac's creep wave is always piling up, but this can backfire too because Chuan can just
Hold the
choose to stand and deny. Yeah, if he wants to, because his creeps are not dying, right? Like, I mean, when I say his creeps, I mean the creeps he needs to kill. That is the Radiant creeps.
Yep.
So you can
I think
stand there
that's also why a bit of a EXP difference
has been created. Yeah. I really like it though. I like how you just like focus and zeroed in on mid, because it's really one of the more interesting lanes in Dota. I feel like out of all the lanes, it's the least boring lane. I mean, well, speaking of least boring, down bottom, Enchantress gets taken out. Natsumi finding the kill and off to a wonderful start. That's all because Jing rotated down towards the bottom lane after realizing that hey, there's a chance that the side of Geek Fam the side of Talon try and make a move onto our Luna.
I mean,
And I think now WS, he is gonna fall as well. You've got the Fire Blast to cancel the TP courtesy of the Mango. There's the tip coming out. Oh, the body blocks. My god. Masterclass here down from Geek Fam.
oh yeah.
I mean, I said that Talon were gonna get ahead in this game, but it seems like Geek Fam, they've really held to their own here. Well, they will rotate towards the mid lane at least, try and make something happen, but this DK has got 3 points in Dragon's Blood. The magic damage
Oh, he
coming
missed
through.
the
No way!
boundless. No.
What the fuck, Chuan? Come on, bro.
Oh my god. No.
Oh, they really needed that kill. They really needed that kill.
I mean, needed? They should have had that kill.
Yeah, but they needed that kill too because the rotation down bottom didn't succeed.
Let me just tell you, Floki, if this was a Crusader game and our Monkey King did that, we would.
I know what I would be doing. I'd be queuing up the Midas.
We would be dipping him.
Oh yeah.
I think Mac is also just being a bit too kind and gracious because that was deserving of a tip. Anyway, happens. I guess sometimes you just miss boundless strikes when people are walking in a straight line.
Yeah, I guess so, but man, now this lane gets actually hard for the Monkey King with the dragon form up because
I mean, I don't know what
now
you're on
Mac
about.
is-
Like, I just dropped down net worth. The Monkey King is fine. Sure, that should have been a kill and a tower. They end up getting nothing, but they're getting a tower down bottom.
it's not bad, but the issue is how the hell does Monkey King get to his first item if he's unable to zone out the enemy mid, right? Like, you would want Primal Spring, but he does not have Primal Spring.
He
He's
does
got
have
only one
Primal
point
Spring.
in it.
Yeah, 1 point.
Yeah, but 1 point is not nearly enough to farm up the Diffusal Blade, so he's gonna have to stay in this lane for a couple more levels now. And on top of that, and he's gonna have to do that so he
Oh
can get
shit.
points to Boundless.
Oh
Sorry,
shit. He's not going to be staying in the lane for too long because Geek Fam, they've converged upon mid, and now Chuan, once those jingle stacks, he'll get them, but he'll end up dying at the end of it all. And if you look at this, I mean, this could have been. I just want to chalk that down to decision making because Talon were getting a tower down bottom. It's okay if you gave up the 8-minute rune. It's not the end of the world. But you gave up your life and the 8-minute rune, that's kind of
That
sus.
is, yeah.
Also,
And
the,
he's
the,
gonna be
the,
an Arcane Rune
the,
Dragon
the,
form.
the MVP of the first 8 minutes for Geek Fam has got to be Jing. They wouldn't have got that kill onto the Monkey King if it wasn't for Jing. They wouldn't have got those 3 kills bottom if it wasn't for Jing. And they wouldn't get this tier 1 tower if it wasn't for Jing. So
Yeah.
it's Jing, Jing, Jing. That man, I mean, by day, he's a Valorant player for Paper X. By night, he plays Dota for Geek Fam. So,
Oh yeah, the grind does not stop for this man.
but there's one man that has equal presence in the game, and he's got quite a big one. It's Cox.
I did not see that coming. I thought you were gonna talk about Joachim, but yeah, I guess that's fair.
He's been oh no, this is the worst part when you play core Monkey King and 9 minutes in you're already sitting on the trees next to your tower. Like,
Yeah.
that is despair max.
He really needs to start maxing out his Primal Spring now. Because if he does not, then he's never gonna get to his Diffusal Blade in a timely fashion. That Diffusal Blade will be delayed
Yeah,
by a
but
ton.
he
So-
needs levels for the Primal Spring max, and he feels that the best way to get it is to go fight, which is fair. But if these fights
What
do
on
not,
earth is he gonna fight?
if these fights do not work in his favor, they're just going to be very pointless.
My only question is, who on earth is he gonna fight and how the hell is he gonna do it? Because I don't think Geek Fam have any valid targets that he can jump on. He cannot jump on the Kunkka, he cannot jump on the Hoodwink, he cannot jump on the Luna, he cannot jump on, well, the DK, of course. Or the Ogre. It's just that you cannot fight, even though you want to, until your first item. And I think he needs to realize that and start putting more points into the Primal Spring. Because this Monkey King is not gonna get his Diffusal Blade in a timely fashion, which is, say, the next 3 minutes. He's instead going to end up getting it probably by 15 to 16 minutes, which is not a bad time, but at that point, there's already one item plus some other items on the enemy team, so that Diffusal Blade really will not find the same amount of effectiveness as it would have if you got it a tad bit early.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, you went for the Orb of Corrosion. I can agree with that. This Wraith Band is really overkill, though. I don't think you needed that.
One minute. All this looks really bad because of that one play. Because
No. It looks bad because of his skill build and also because of the Wraith Band. It's not just that. I don't even know why he went for the wand.
But I think Max Jingu would have worked perfectly if that Boundless Strike connected on the Dragon Knight, and this game would be quite different from there on.
I don't know if the dragon.
I really feel like he would have died.
Yeah.
He would have definitely died. It's not like just the Boundless alone was needed to kill him. His teammates were there. They would have gotten that kill. And then
he was level 6 when he made that play. But then after that, he put another point into Boundless, which is what I disagree with. I feel like he could have had 3 towards.
I mean, the man thought that he'd have more of a laning phase, right? But then we had the mishap at the Arcane role. So I think like a couple of bad mistakes and his lane has kind of been undone. But sure, he's got enough time to recover and come back in the game. He's very close to his diffusal. 12 minutes in, very early days in the game altogether, because no one is really winning this just yet. Although we both placed our bets on Talon, it's still very early days and anything can happen. And
Yeah,
you
I think this is
always
the
got a
biggest bait.
factor for Cox.
Yeah, this is the biggest bait that a lot of Monkey King players fall into whenever playing this hero mid. And I think it's also one of the reasons why, Thompson doesn't pick it every game. He only picks it very, very specifically.
Thompson can play it any game. He just doesn't.
He probably can. And if he would play it any game, he would max Primal Spring in this game because he knows that he would need the Diffusal Blade to really get any work done. If you look at the enemy team, they're fairly tanky. Yes, your build could have worked out, but if you noticed, during the entire laning phase, there was never a point where the Dragon Knight fell below 60% HP until the 3 heroes came to
I
kill
think
him.
what I
Neither
don't,
did
I
Quan get
don't
penalized.
blame his skill build because his thought process is I'm playing the lane to win, which would be taking points in Shingo. If from the beginning you're playing to just trade even with the Dragon Knight, and
Okay, you're playing on Earth. I agree with that. Look, I think all those
but
arguments are correct.
he has adjusted, and I think more than the skill build, there were like some fundamental macro decisions that really kind of hurt him a little bit, but it's okay. He's recovered. I think he's got the diffusal flying out to him. Personally, even after the diffusal, this game is going to be really difficult for him. I feel like he needs +2 items to really. I mean, he definitely needs a BKB. There's
that
a
is for
Kunkka who's gonna have a Torrent Storm and whatnot. It's not an easy game for the Monkey King. And both teams in their head, they're running various scenarios in their team fights, and they've decided that the best thing we can all do is sit and hit creeps. What's that Mike Tyson quote?
Everyone has a plan till they get punched in the face or in the face.
Spifey.
Sorry?
Nothing. Never mind. Anyway, there's the fight. It's Cox getting punched in the face, swapped in fact, as he gets skewered onto a tree with the spear. And it's a nice, neat little kill. Akashi getting credit for that one. One thing that I wanted to...
Eclipse there, by the way.
What?
Natsumi popped the Eclipse there and didn't connect it onto anyone.
Yes, and thank God I didn't mention it. Can you just let that man not be embarrassed for a moment? Save him the embarrassment. Just let him pop his Eclipse. With
No.
how many points in Lucent Beam? 2.
2.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, it's an Eclipse. It's not an Echo Slam. It's forgivable. Jing getting a little bit of information, maybe a bit too much as he's caught in the arena, speared before the sharpshooter can really charge up and bring down WS. But nonetheless, Natsumi is there, and with him is the Dragon Knight, and my camera froze. But you can fill in the blanks. Mac did clean up on them, and boy, one blink dagger and this Dragon Knight is really, really feeling activated.
Oh yeah, he's off to the races, and that's partly because the lineup is enabling him so much, right? You've got so many usable disables, really. Hoodwink, every time she pops Bushwhack, it's in an offensive way. Ogre popping Fire Blast and Ignite that fight in an offensive way, so you get to hit those enemies for longer.
Oh, damn.
And that's the thing about Mac. I mean, sorry, that's the thing about the Dragon Knight this game. When you're enabled like this hero can be very, very strong. He doesn't have a lot of damage, but he can latch onto targets and just beat them down, and they
Yeah.
can sort of have no response because he's a guy with 13 fucking armor for some reason.
Absolutely. Guys, when you run out of any creative spirit as a team, you pick Dragon Knight. And Valve, they didn't have any creative spirit in them when they were making the anime. So it's all about Dragon Knight. Hence,
Don't understand why the story had to be about Dragon Knight. I feel like they could have gone in so many ways. Why did we get an anime on Dragon Knight? We could have gotten an anime on Shadow Fiend. We could have gotten an anime on Mars and Zeus. We could have gotten an anime on Anti-Mage and the horrific slaughter of all the monks that are in his lore. There were so many better angles to pick.
yeah.
They picked the most boring one.
Yep.
They could have made the anime about Terrorblade and Invoker. That was cool. I enjoyed that.
Yep. Or the
Well,
one
Geek Fam-
where Kid Invoker went to Michael Jackson's house. We heard that word. Sorry.
It's all right. I like it. You know,
Michael
strangely
Jackson
enough-
likes it too. But you're not alone. Anyway, WS is going
idea of healing the whoa! Shot got the kill. Wow! What a play by the Mars. Cox
Ha!
does not smack him with his cock. Roshan says, "Mine is bigger than yours," and takes the credit for the kill.
And
And
now
now Geek Fam are mad.
they are mad. They are angry. They are driven by bloodlust, quite literally, as they will eventually bring down Roshan. I mean, this part of the game is going as per plan for Geek Fam and for us, but now I feel quite silly about both our predictions, Floki, because how do Talon win this?
That is the $1 million question. Talon, don't. They need to get to the Super Late game. They need to just somehow survive, trudge it out for the next 30 minutes, and then they have a chance.
30 minutes.
This
Okay.
Monkey King needs to get to his Skadi after his BKB.
I think this
or
Monkey
they
King
need
needs
get
to have
his
some
Skadi with
impact.
someone. Yeah, and you know why he does not have impact to make? It's because of his fucking skill build.
I mean,
I'm sorry.
now,
didn't
nearly everything. Like, what should be his skill build at this time?
His skill build should have been max Primal Spring, not max Boundless Strike. I don't know why he skilled that ability.
Just a
makes no
hypothetical
sense.
question.
You would get to the Boundless Strike anyway if you kept farming.
As
that's
you're
the point I was
channeling
trying to make.
Primal Spring, before you land, can you pop Whale?
Can you pop Whale? No, I don't think you can. You can pop Shivas, but you can't pop Whale. You can pop Shivas
Oh.
anytime. You know, Shivas is like a cheap whore. You can
Pop
have
her.
access to them anywhere in the world.
Clearly, this man doesn't know his hose. But
I know my host very well, Vivek. In fact, there's
no,
so many
no,
places
no.
where I live where if you venture out after 11 o'clock into the night, you can see all the hoes
Me?
the size of the streets. Huh?
Is it really like that where you live?
It really is. It really is. There
Your-
are multiple
your-
places
your lane?
within walking distance. No, not in my market area. Not exactly where I live, but like 5 minutes from here.
We don't say market, we Indians say bazaar.
Bazaar. Oh right, bazaar. Excuse me. Where is my culture?
Yes.
And to think I consider myself cultured. How
Oh,
silly.
anyways.
He put the fucking you adamant motherfucker Chuan. You knew you needed the point in Primal Spring. Why would you take that last point that you earned and put it into fucking Jingu Mastery? What the fuck, bro?
Wait, how does Primal
I'm really harping on this, but I'm
slow
really
down?
fucking annoyed.
I mean, 350 damage is a bit. It is quite a bit.
350 damage is the difference between killing a creep wave with just one hit on the melee creeps versus killing a creep wave with 3 hits. on each melee creep, which translates to nearly 6 seconds or
Well,
4 seconds.
I don't know. In a matter of seconds, a fight's broken out, and in a matter
And-
of seconds, my man with the big cocks is gonna double kill. A
Oh,
boat
yeah.
came out of his cock, and that did the work. And now they've got Akashi controlled. My camera frozen yet again, and Akashi will try and wait from TP, will manage to succeed. But yeah, that was really, really good for Geek Fan. They still have the ages, so I assume they're going to keep pushing, and they're going to, first and for all, stop Jocam and all this creep cutting nonsense. So she was good, great for vision, and 2 melee heroes.
Why does Joker have a
Slow.
Mate Slayer? Okay, I have to be real here. Mate Slayer is a great item.
Ah.
No doubt about it.
But
But you need to
wait,
be able to hit the fucking heroes.
wait a minute, Floki, you didn't notice this. I will show it to you.
What will you show me?
His neutral item.
I don't think those projectiles proc anything.
They
See,
do.
If you
They
look
do.
at-
They do.
Vivek, just read the last line of Specialist Array.
Okay, never mind. Fuck you. You're right. I
That's
don't
all
know.
right.
It's
Yeah, it
I
doesn't
think
look
I
that
think
way.
they,
I don't blame you, Vivek. It's all
don't
right.
they proc?
They don't.
Huh.
I mean, you know what would be broken if Gyro's Flak Cannon procced item effect?
Well, now he has Sproing.
Sprite does, if I'm not wrong.
It should. I mean, if it's farting
Yes,
impeti, I'm sure it will.
Yeah, but I really want. I would rather see a Dragon Lance on Joe Cam than this Mate Slayer. That could have been an entire Hurricane.
I
point,
don't know.
by the way.
I think our pause for Enchantress has.
There you
no,
go. You just looked at that.
what?
See the Specialist Array procking only on.
Does not
it-
trigger attack modifiers.
Yeah, it did not trigger it. I mean, you can just focus on the Enchantress and see the next time she right clicks for a bit.
Yeah, but what,
coming
what
up
I
from
wanted
that.
to say is like the Enchantress has no role to play in why Talon are in this
Oh yeah, absolutely not.
mildly awful game state. Like it's nothing to do with the Enchantress in particular.
Yeah, that's just sort of Joe Cam's role this
I
game.
I feel also
But I
that
think he really needs a pike. He gets a pike. I think these fights look a lot different. They have ways of killing the Dragon Knight. They have ways of killing the Kunkka. Then
so
and he doesn't do nothing.
Sproing does proc the Mate Slayer, but Specialist
Yes.
Array I haven't quite caught what happens.
It does. not.
Damn,
I got it while.
do you feel like fighting this if you're Talon? Like I don't think you want to. Wait.
Not at all. I don't think you want to fight this. I don't know why Talon are trying to fight this. It makes no
I'd be shit scared, bro. You lose this fight, it's GG. Like if you lose this fight and the Lina
I mean,
is
if they burst the DK, they can maybe win. but
okay, they
there's
swap the DK. They do try and burst the DK. He's alive, but not for long. He's gonna die. The boat coming through, and that's the Venge dead. Nice little Torrent Storm. But how much more can Jing and the others capitalize? Jing for now is gonna run for dear life as Xuan stands with his BKB, his own Wukong's command. Natsumi poking and prodding. The phylactery in play.
So, to summarize, you are down to ultimates. You caught the Dragon Knight. You lost the Vengeful Spirit.
And now you can't defend it here too.
Exactly. So, was that worth it?
I don't
do
know.
not think-
I legit feel that it had to be swap into Spear, not swap into Arena.
I don't think it had to be
I
enough for anything at all. I think they could have just made it with the spear.
exactly, it had to be swap into Spear, not swap into Arena. But more importantly, like I don't know, I really hate fighting at the tier 2 if I'm dire. It just feels that it's the kind of fight where you could not just lose your tier 2 but really lose the game.
Whenever you are ahead and cannot trade, that is when you should take fights at the tier 2 because that is you giving up an objective for free if you don't do it. So yeah, this is just neither of those scenarios, and now Talon are gonna lose this tier 2. Or I hope they were, but Natsumi does not seem too keen on taking it. He does have the BKB, but I guess Steen does not feel comfortable pushing without Max. So all in all, a success perhaps at the tier 2 for Talon, but the net worth still favoring Geek Fam. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. I have a strange feeling that net worth advantage doesn't really matter all that much, and it's just a stat. But what Talon have done is bought themselves time.
Yeah.
And time is what they need if they want to win this game.
They didn't actually buy themselves time. Like Natsumi and the others could have just kept pushing. No arena. They could have gone. They could have tried. I think that is a great place to take a risk if you are Geek fam. I would be completely okay with my team trying to just be a little bit risk pro risk at that tier 2. If they could get that tower, I think it'd be worth it. I mean, you want to really make Talon uncomfortable, right? Like, we don't have arena, we don't have Mars. Are we really going to take this fight? Should we take this fight? Blah, 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 blah. Make them doubt themselves. But now, they're the ones on the back foot as Talon are now pushing into Geek Fam's tier 2 with mid. Mac, what has he completed? He's got the blink and I think he's building towards the Ags after the Manta.
Okay.
The Tormentor is still around. And he's got his Ags. Well, scan clips and in both teams dodging each other. Spear will miss, but Mac, he's got Mars. I think this is it for Mars. He should probably end up dying, but no, WS pops his BKB, stays alive. Super awkward fight coming up from the side of Talon is Ponyo. I mean, I don't know who he swapped or what he swapped, but he ends up dying in Jokam will sprink away. Oh, the Maid Slayer procs are so fucking cool. No, they don't matter. As 2,700 gold or so was not put to any meaningful use. WS thinks he's safe. He's farming the Ancients, but Jing has an ADOS. He can catch and he can set up for more.
Wow.
WS forced to come in the arena and Jing is like, well, mission accomplished. As Natsumi is just spiraling down mid. A shield and a bouncy bubble for her to play in. She will definitely get this tier 2 tower. And I think, yeah. I think now if you're Talon, you want to pray to God that you can just win a fight at your tier 3. That's all that remains. You win a fight at tier 3 or you win a fight at Roshan.
Oh, yeah.
One thing I want to say though, Floki, and I think this is a hallmark of really good mid laners. When you are given a winning matchup, you know what to do to win. Which I feel that, what's his name? This guy, Chuan, didn't do enough. Like, he gave Thompson that matchup. He's going to make, not just because it's Thompson, he give no one that matchup, for example. He is going to abuse every facet of Monkey King versus Dragon Knight.
Yes, and that is something that actually requires you to actively think. I mean, you can actively think about it and still do it. A lot of the best players have it down to an instinct.
Yeah.
But I don't think this is excusable. I feel like Chuan should have really read the lane before and understood that, okay, if I'm not going to be able to kill the Dragon Knight, then it makes more sense for me to just shove out the lane. Because if the Dragon Knight has 3 points in Dragon's Blood, and I have Primal Spring, and I'm shoving out the wave every time it comes into me, what I can do is Primal Spring the wave, then go Primal Spring a strong camp, and then go Primal Spring a wave, and then go Primal Spring a strong camp. And Ponyo, well, if Benny Hill music was playing right now, I'd be playing for him and not for me.
I think he'll be playing for my
is dead.
observing, but regardless, he dies. So does Jokam and the Monkey King hopping about, will run for life. Oh, the torrent. It's perfect. It's enough for them to get Chuan. Chuan dead, and now, oh, this is painful. It's so painful.
And Jing, I mean, yeah, chat wheel away, buddy. You are the reason the team is winning. He's been playing so well through this game, I have got to say. I mean, he has really been the difference maker here for the side of Geek Fam. It's his performance on the post for Hoodwink that has really set up the side of Geek Fam for success.
And he's setting up for more success as he sees
Oh,
WS.
man.
Oh my god, this is painful. I think he's dead. WS will pop his BKB. He's gonna allow him to pop the arena and run. But this is the kind of Roman gladiator that, well, would much rather have gone into literature rather than fighting, because this man just wants to be far, far away from war.
According to Dota lore, Mars is the son of Zeus, who adopted a different nickname for from a different pantheon because he
Do you
had
know
some beef with his
Hercules
father.
was also the son of Zeus? The bastard son of Zeus?
I do know that.
Yeah.
Hercules had a very or Heracles, excuse me, had a very
Hercules.
Heracles is what he was traditionally called, and then it was Hercules. Natsumi, though, getting caught out, and well, when you don't buy Manta Style or a Hurricane Pike, this is what happens. You bought an item worth 5,000 gold, called a
Ah,
Khanda, you had a 15k net worth advantage, and now you're fucking dead.
you know,
And you have
I was
not
just
found a single
thinking,
set of racks
if
of
the
Khanda.
shard, if the lunar shard was what it was when Yapsor played pos for Luna, it'd be really good with the Kanda,
Yeah, it would be.
wouldn't it?
But it would. And it still is, because you have that on the talent now at level 20. But
Ah, I don't
I
blame.
don't understand why on earth the Luna does not have a Pike or a Manta Style against the lineup of Talon.
I think the
You've got a Mars, you've got a Monkey King, you've got a Morphling, you've got heroes that want to be in your face. You need to create distance. The Monkey King being sniped, though, is cool. Not gonna lie, but again, not gonna stop this Roshan from coming through. And Geek fam really have to be kicking themselves in this game 3. I think Skem in particular is not gonna be too pleased with Natsumi's performance. Natsumi has made a couple of crucial errors here in this game where his skill build was a little weird. The play was a little weird. They're trying to correct for it now by contesting this Roshan and potentially finding some more kills. And they will find Ponyo with the Ogre Seal Totem. But can they find anything more? Yes, they can. Cox. He is on the money. I really had to think hard to not say that was the money shot. But ultimately, I did say it anyway, so.
it's actually a bit disgusting what comes to you naturally. You must always curb your natural instincts.
Yeah, I must always suppress myself naturally. But Joachim, he's gonna be walking away, or so I thought, until there was a big black dragon in his face.
Just leave the enchantress. She is of no consequence. Go hit building.
Yeah. It's a waste of time. And Natsumi, there you go. Now you get to atone for your sins, buddy. Stand here and take down this tier 3 like the man or the lady on a lion you are. If Luna was an Indian, she'd be Indira Gandhi. I don't think any other woman would have the balls to sit on a lion.
I don't think anybody knows or cares.
I don't think anyone even knows that Luna
Ah,
sits on a lion.
why is this happening? Anyway, they got the kill. Great arena. They found Jing. Much hatred. Such wow. Torrent boat. Wukong's committed. Jing still alive. Gets out of there. And now it looks embarrassingly funny as Akashi is running for his life. Not much to work with. Ends up dying. And I think Talon, they've been thoroughly uninspiring in this game number 3. As Geek Fam, without a doubt, Floki are clearly the better team.
Oh yeah, Geek fam. I mean, they made a couple of errors here, but Talon, they tried to punish them. They did so unsuccessfully. And now this is gonna be the end of that. Shuan gonna get taken down. Natsumi here with the cleanup. Buybacks galore from the side of Talon, but what the fuck can you even do? Not much. The Morphling surrounded, hounded, and pounded. By
All
Cox.
of that by Cox. Great minds think alike. Well, that's the end of game 1. Floki, can you check Liquipedia and see if there's any other game today?
There is one coming up. I believe our boy, Krish Tota, is going to be playing against Bleed in a bit.
Boggies.
I do want to catch that match, actually. So
Of course, we will. So do you want to take a
break, I do.
break?
I do. I actually can't stand being on cam while you were gone. I found that my concentration was waning.
What concentration?
Yeah, well, true. I mean, I was far more focused in game 1 than I've been in game 2 and game 3.
Mm.
These were arguably the worst casts. And that's because I was...
I'm just checking if this guy's game has started. Oh, I don't think there is another game today.
There are.
Please,
There is
please
Krishna's
confirm.
game. I did. I asked him. I asked him while he was on a Discord channel.
Great.
So yeah.
One second. I'm
It's happening in 55 minutes. You can have a look at it right here. I'm sending you a link.
55 minutes.
Yeah,
Should we just shut down the stream until then? Yeah, 50
I think we
minutes.
should keep it on. I think you should keep it on.
Nah,
No, I mean, unless you wanna use
we'll
it
shut
PC.
it down. We'll shut it down.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay, guys. Thanks for tuning in to part 1. Part 2 coming up soon. We're gonna take a break. Look after our cocks and